Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. Let's just have a conversation. Doing, family? It's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. Let me go and introduce the crew. We got Sweeney, the Real Precious, Lapeef JR, Lady Di, Mr. Lego, Pretty Mama Paradise, Straight Smooth, Stacy. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
Hey.
Coolin'.
What up?
Coolin'. It's hot, man.
Always a good night to be on the Lapeef Network.
I'm sorry, what was that, Paradise?
I said it's always a good night when we on the Lapeef Network.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
I'm talking about, Paradise. Starting off with a bang. I like that. Let go. Glasses, man. What's going on? I'm going for a new look?
No, I just had them on early day. I might leave them. I'm used to wearing them since I was wearing them today.
Man, so I used to see you like that, man. You kind of, I don't know what kind of vibe you give me, man. You haven't done no criminal activity earlier, did you?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, what? What is a whoa? What I miss?
He gave it to him on credit.
We was hoping you wasn't doing no criminal activity, man. That's all.
Oh, no. Not no more. I don't do that no more.
Okay. Well, I'm about to get used to this look, man. You're throwing me off a little bit. Let me move my screen back a little bit. I got to watch you, man.
Kind of fits him to me.
Huh?
I said it fits him to me. So
thank you. I appreciate that. Here we go. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Lady Di.
Yeah, but I think it might be a deflection. You still got that red on, so I think the glasses might just or a loop, so we know what time it is. Pretty Mama, just excuse us. This is how we behave typically on a Thursday.
It's completely normal to me.
What's up, new ladies?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good.
you kind of sound like Precious right now.
Huh?
You kind of sound like Precious. I was like, wait, who do you say this?
Oh, you got to say hola.
What is it?
Hola.
Say hola. Yeah, say hola.
Hola.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might want to get you a stand or something like that too, so that phone not flickering all over the place.
Is it?
It keeps moving. There you go.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. All right, well, shout out to the sponsor, T Channel Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 30% off along with a free gift. Make sure you guys click that link that's pinned in the description. Let me see who we got in the chat. Shout out to all my Green Gang, Ed Hill, BZ, formerly Baby Zaddy, Embrace the Grace. Doug Will already with a super chat, $4.99. Also, member says one more gin. Know what that means. Mr. Renegade.
One more again.
One more again. Okay. Hey,
I don't know what that
I'm
means.
sorry. I don't like when you're 56, you just be out of the loop with all these terminologies that y'all youngins be using. So maybe one day I'll get up to speed. Mr. BX87. Huh?
You said 56?
Yeah, I'm 56, man. It's just dye I put on my beard.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so it's all gray. You know, I'll be out here.
I thought I was the old head in the crew.
Nah, man, I got a lot of years, man. Got a lot of years.
No, that's Mr. Let Go over there.
Oh.
We got Mr. BX87. We got a couple of new members that became members today. JJ Carver. I thought you was a member already. Maybe you just came back.
Shout out to JJ Carver.
Marquez Palmer. Welcome to Green Gang. So salute to.
And Lady Di, I'm a millennial, so unless everybody else is a millennial, I can't be the oldest person in here. So I'm a millennial.
Okay.
You lying?
He ain't no damn millennial. That man, Generation X through and through. Nah, he might be. How old are you, Mr. Lego?
I'm 29.
Man, get the fuck out.
If you take the glasses off, you're gonna act normal. It's the glass got you discombobulated. Take the glasses out so you can be yourself.
Okay, first of all, I identify as 29.
Oh no!
I didn't know where you was going with that one.
Black don't crack. Black don't crack.
Bullshit.
I identify. No.
I identify.
What we doing?
That man identifies as a senior citizen with his reading glasses on today. Talking about 29. The hell out of here.
Don't hate. It's okay. Like I accept all the hate.
It's not hating if it's true.
It's okay. Keep hating.
It's not hating if it's true.
Okay.
All right. Stacy on the well-being check. You good down there? You okay? Okay. Like, are the jokes not they corny? Are they not up to your standards? What?
I don't know. I was laughing.
I just gotta make sure.
She was laughing at me. Just
Okay. All right, family. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We would appreciate it. Go ahead and share the stream. So that would be a good gesture. That'd be good deed for the day. Is go ahead and share the stream so we can get it to folks that may need this message, because it will be a message today from somebody. Somebody gonna drop some gems, and somebody. It'll be Paradise. Yeah. She been on a roll all week, so Paradise.
And most likely me, of course.
Shout out Paradise for that TikTok that you did earlier. About damn time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just so you know, the hand clap wasn't for you. It was still on from the intro.
Man.
Wow. That's crazy.
I thought I was on mute. My bad. I wasn't talking to you, Paradise. I was talking to.
Play so much.
No, I was talking. No, I was talking to the production crew. They sitting right in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't on. Okay, let's go and get it started, man. Enough dragging it out. Let's go ahead and get it started. Hit that like button, family. Here we go. Our first topic of tonight. Cheating happens like this.
Come to you with a truth and you push me back to myself, then why did I need you?
Exactly.
And that's an isolated, lonely place. And most, not a license, but most affairs don't begin in the bedroom. They begin emotionally. They begin intellectually. Most affairs begin because I found someone that I could tell my secrets to, or I could trust with parts of me that I had to hide from somebody else. I found somebody else who didn't judge me, that I ran to them. I engaged in levels of conversations and intimacy. And that's not just men and women. That's women and men. Most of the situations happen because of that listening ear. That ear gate come to a heart gate. What goes in your ear, get in your heart. What get in your heart, come out your mouth. What come out your mouth, show up in your life. And you look around and you're like, yo, how did I get here? It didn't even start sexual. No, but you was curious. You was interested. You were accepting. You were loving. You were nurturing. You heard me. You didn't judge me. You didn't degrade me. You didn't look at me crazy because I shared my weakness. And that gave you some credibility that now I'm finding myself lusting after you, wanting you because you provided a space for me that I didn't have at home.
Well, I don't know. It sounded like he was talking to a therapist. I want to do men have those same emotional and feelings towards their therapist because that's what a therapist does, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda. Okay. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get it started, man. Who wants to go?
That's a lot of word salad.
Cheating happens like this. A lot of word salad.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of word salad.
Yeah, the
for-
guy.
It
I was
probably
like,
happens like that for a woman.
I was gonna say that you on point.
I think
with
that men,
Yeah.
like, I remember being out on a date with a guy, and he said that when he was married, he had went out but he was by himself at the time, and he said he walked past a girl, and she looked back at him and was like, "Oh, you don't want to taste it," or something like that, and he said he couldn't resist, like he had to do it. So there was no all these words and let me tell you my deepest, darkest secret. It's I want you, I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna keep it moving. I think for women, it's probably more emotional and more, you try to draw someone in closer, but I don't think it's like that for men.
No, it's not. Ain't nobody think about all that shit. Some of these
Some men
dudes just
probably
be want
do
to
it,
sound
but-
smart on podcasts. Shout out to the guy, but I don't know what the hell he was talking about.
Oh, okay. Pretty mama, let me get your thoughts about it. Cheating happens like this. What do you think about the video?
I think guys cheat just to fuck. Women cheat for comfort, and that's just how it's always going to be. Because men think with the other head, women think with their heart. So, I'm always stand on that though.
All right. What about you, Paradise?
I think they misinterpreted the video. When he was saying cheating starts like this, he means to say that it didn't go directly into the bedroom. You didn't look at a person and go, "Oh, you fine, let's start having sex." It was a gradual thing that happened. Cheating happens by a person getting comfortable with a person. I ain't necessarily got to fall in love with you or be attached to you or trying to break up my house or anything like that. But it does start in conversation. It starts by little flirtatious gestures, trying to get implied consent of what they okay with or what they not with, little random touching here and there. And then you start getting more consistent with your conversation. It starts to break off into other things. So cheating does start with a conversation. And it don't necessarily mean that, "Oh, I love you so much that I got to have sex with you." It just simply means that it didn't jump straight into the bedroom. People had to find a comfortability and a familiarity in order to get to that point.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Trey Smooth.
All right, cool. Paris is on to something a little bit right there. That happens. But what I have to say about it is all of that, when it comes to men, all that hoopla, that's only to get to the goal. Most times men want to cheat because they want to smash. All that other stuff is cute, is cool, but that's not what we think about for real, for real. It's like we do that to patronize the woman just to get to the goal if it's on some cheating situation. There are some dudes who like a full-blown mistress just because the female might be a little bit different. She might offer something that this particular man doesn't, right? But usually it's for sex. That's what a lot of men cheat for. The only time a man really wants to cheat for something else, let's say his girlfriend is a serious nag, or just he can't have any peace. If he can't have any peace with her, then he'll say, "All right, well, at least I could talk to this person, whatever," and that's cool. But that's not usually the case. They usually just want to get in them pockets, man. That's what it all boils down to. For women, I would certainly agree that all of those things that he mentioned, women are looking for, because back in the day, I used to be kind of a Mrs. Steal Your Girl, and the easiest thing to do is just to be whatever that guy is not. So if he can't run his mouth, you run your mouth. If he ain't got no pipe game, then you need to give it some good McLovin. If he is broke, then you just show her how you spend money on you, and you're gonna get in that pocket. So that's where I'm at with it.
All right, still talking about the McLovin. Go ahead, Lady Di.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you was being honest. But I just wanted to talk about kind of what Paris was talking about. I think that it starts with people just being too friendly. Like, you got to know your limits. You could get to know somebody, but you ain't got to get to know them like that. You could just be real platonic with it, and, have similarity, but you don't have to go too deep into getting to know them, because that's when you're going to start tapping into, oh, this person is a good person. Wow. I would probably want to be with that person if I wasn't tied up with somebody else. This would be a second option. And then, you start to think of that. And it's natural. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing, because there's a lot of, to me, there's good people out here. So I just think that if you are wanting to be loyal to your partner, to whoever you want to call it, then I just think you need to just keep it respectful. Because even if you're friendly, right, and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to mess with this person, you don't know what the other person is thinking. So the person that you're friendly to, they might be thinking, damn, he is too friendly to me. I think he want to get at me. And then they're going to start trying to, shoot their shot. So, if you know what you're doing, cool, you know how to take, say no, then that's fine. But I think just kind of play it safe. If you're in a relationship, kind of hang out with people that are in a relationship. Yes, I think people in a relationship that are married have single friends. You just have to be smart about it. Don't let them take you down. And that's all I got to say.
All right. Sweeney, cheating happens like this. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
So I just sat here and tried to Google why men cheat. And essentially it was just a bunch of women trying to explain why men cheat.
You can't Google that shit. What are you talking about?
I'll be real with you. For fuck's sake, I don't know why men do this shit. We do it for a number of reasons. It could be just because it's spur of the moment. It could be because our wives are getting on our nerve. It could be because you're unfulfilled. It can be spirit of opportunity. It's a number of reasons why. But this whole, I personally think men and women cheat nearly for the same reasons. From the research that I've done before, not just last Google search, but from the research I've done before, men and women tend to cheat for the same reasons: lack of intimacy, being undervalued in the relationship, things like that. Sometimes spur. They even said a lot of women even cheat spur of the moment and things like that. So I don't know. I kind of agree with Mr. Lego. It sounds like a bunch of word salad to say the same shit we already know.
Okay.
I think altogether is three different things. Either, and y'all have said this, either to cope with something, like, for example, it may not be the woman is a nag. He may have lost his job, right? And he's sad or depressed or feels like less of a man because something's going on either in his personal life or financial life where he feels like a bum or something. Like the bum dude, or when a dude feels like a bum dude, he doesn't really have a lot to lose. He feels a certain kind of way about himself, and he'll go smash another chick to make himself feel a little bit better about himself. And that's just the cope. So, but the other side of coping is your woman is a nag and she keeps saying crazy shit, and he wants peace or whatever.
So what about the men that got jobs and don't lose their job and cheat? Are they also bums?
That was just one of them. Another one is vicinity. Like, if you got a cute chick that's working for you, you're gonna smash her because she's there. You got a homeboy, not saying you're supposed to, but this is another reason. Your homeboy's single, and he be like, yo, I got 3 of them over here. Like, yo, pull up. You're gonna pull up. Next thing you know, you smashing. So it's vicinity. The chicks just be, you know what I'm saying? It's like a damn zebra just laying on the ground. A lion just walked up. Oh, food. You know what I'm saying? You just go for it. And then the other thing is opportunity. Some dudes make a little bit more money, start doing a little bit better, start feeling a little bit more confident. His woman has dressed him a little bit better or made him feel a little bit better. Now his chest is out a little bit. he's feeling a little bit, he's looking better or something. And next thing you know, a woman that he has never been able to get is like, what's up? And he's up here like,
Something about you.
he's up here like, yo, me?
Mr. Lecco, I gotta ask you, bro.
You got comprehension.
Do you allow women to dress you, Mr. Lecco?
Oh no, I'm just saying that's what happens a lot of.
Okay.
See, it's not a woman dressing you; it's a woman being like, you know what? I think you'll look cute like that. So a dude might dress like this, and she might introduce him to another style. And she won't buy the stuff for him, but she'll introduce a style to him. He's now wearing suits, or he got a job where he's wearing suits, and he's just looking different.
What?
His confidence is higher. Next thing you know, a woman sees something that she didn't see before, and all of a sudden, she's liking what she sees. And he has never smashed a chick on a certain level before, and all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh shit, I can't turn her down. I never had a chick like that." And then he'll fuck.
That's
So
why
in other words,
that part.
In other words, to simply put, it seemed like a good idea at the time until you get caught.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I also have to say, like, we're going on a tangent. We don't need to dissect why people cheat. People cheat for a multitude of reasons. Some people just don't intend on doing it, and it happens in the moment. Everything
It's
ain't
a conversation. What do you mean don't dissect it? We're on a show.
No, that's not
conversation.
that's why I said I noticed something about you. You got comprehension issues. The video said
what?
Things like this. Where does cheating start? How does cheating start? And here you
I
are.
just explained it.
Don't nobody care why people cheat. Nobody cares except for the person that they cheated on. They're the only person who want to know, why did you cheat on me?
But it's a lot. But it's a lot of us that got cheated on, though. So we were like some of us got cheated on. They want to know, and the audience is why. They want the root of it, or how to prevent it.
Hold on, y'all. This is the problem that we have.
It started with Sweeney.
This is the problem that we have. We're trying to answer a question for a group of people, saying because they come in and talk about why did he do it? Motherfucker, I don't know why he did it. Go ask the nigga that did it. What are you asking us for? How about they want solutions? What you want a solution for? Go ask the person that did it to you. We don't know why that nigga cheated. We don't know why that chick cheated.
All together, this is a show and it's a question. And on the show, you answer the damn question.
What's wrong with Lecco's right on this one? He's right on this one. He's right on this one.
All right, let me go ahead and get to Stacey. Let me get to Stacey. Go ahead, Stacey. What are your thoughts about it? Cheating happens like
in the world.
Yeah, no, I think cheating typically starts with conversations. I think it's like aimless flirting.
I'm getting some static. I'm hearing some popping noises. I don't know. You guys hear it too? Or is it just me? Okay.
Is it better?
Yeah, I heard it. No, it's still there.
No, it's there.
Every time you talk.
Yeah. You know, maybe go back out and come back in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try that. Precious, what are your thoughts about it, man?
I went first, but like I said, I think that I mean, of course, most things start with a conversation. You can't just walk up to somebody and start banging them, right? So most things start with the conversation.
Leave men to their own devices. They might.
I mean,
it happens like in the strip club, but okay.
Most things start with a conversation. I just don't think that it's this long, drawn out conversation. And for some guys, maybe it is like what Paris was saying with the comfortability. You know, what can I get away with? What is she comfortable with? What is, you know, the other way around? What is he comfortable with? But most times it's a guy trying to see what a woman is most comfortable with and what he can get away with and how far it can go. But I just don't think it's a long drawn out thing.
I think I will say this though. A lot of people try to look at. I mean, obviously, cheating comes with a negative connotation because it's obviously cheating. But I'm seeing a lot that people say things like, "Oh, you were immature." "Oh, you were what was another word that I seen? Another one of them damn I words. No, people cheat for Paris said, people cheat for a multitude of reasons. I think that what happens is that a lot of people don't like to find out that they're the reason why somebody cheated on them. So they try to blame the person. Like, I mean, obviously they are at fault for doing what they're doing, but I think a lot of people would get a lot if they actually speak to the person that cheated on them and have a real conversation with them, because you might find out that there was some shit that you did in that relationship that made them go the other way, that made them stray away. And I don't think we have that conversation enough.
But that's the issue.
Sweetie, you don't have no reasons. You don't have no. Have you? What was reasons that you cheated on somebody before? You don't have any?
I've never cheated on it. Oh no, I lied.
In your life, don't even do it. That's a lie.
I was just caught myself, man. I just said, wait a minute. I lied. I did.
You just caught yourself cheating.
No,
now I know you would cheat.
That one for her, it was opportunity. I was a sophomore in college.
That was the last time you cheated?
Awesome. All right, I don't start giving too many details.
But Sweeney, like you're saying, right? Like we always try to dissect the why, and the why ain't necessarily important. And people have started saying other things to kind of like ease their bruised ego, such as, oh, them cheating has nothing to do with me. It's all about them, and they have a character flaw, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it really boils down to the fact that if your partner sat there and told you, like, I started cheating because of something that you did, would they really be able to really sit through that and work it out and go forward? Because the reality is, like, now we paint this picture.
You know what's interesting?
I guess that's why people don't say, like, you know, like you're in a relationship and they don't say, hey, you're not doing this enough, because they feel like if I tell you, you're not going to do it anyway. So they end up just cheating on the person for, you know, for those type of reasons. People cheat because they have a lack in something. Because I don't think if someone cheats and you ask them, well, why did you do it? Most people are not going to be honest and say, well, you didn't suck it right or whatever. They're just going to be like, okay, well, you're just not, I just cheated just because, you know. So I don't think it's going to be a clear, straight answer. I think people just need to do their job properly.
I mean, that's where the whole marriage counseling and counseling comes into play at. But a lot of people aren't willing to do those type of things. And what's crazy to me is, we talked about this a while ago, how often women forgive cheating, right? They would forgive it without ever finding out the reason why. They would just be like, okay, well, I forgive you. And then he would continue. He would do it again and do it again and do it again. And then they finally get fed up. But then they never knew why he did what he did. Because sometimes, I would say this, if you found out that your man was cheating on you just for the sake of doing it, would you honestly have stayed? But because you came up with some reason in your mind as to the reason why you should just forgive him, just don't for any old reason, rather than actually talking to him. If you would have found out, like, yeah, because I like smashing other women, would you have honestly stayed if he told you that?
And that's why I say cheating.
I think that's
unfamiliar, unfulfilled void, because at some point in the beginning of the relationship, y'all getting together, there was being consistent and being monogamous on both ends. At some point, all people who have cheated have that form of a experience where they say, I didn't cheat on you then, I wasn't cheating here. So it had to start somewhere with a breeding ground of comfortability and familiarity with another person.
The best thing
or
to do,
that could have been who they were going into the relationship. It could have been who they were going into the relationship. And some women ignore things. Some women accept certain things. It depends on the age of a woman. She's not going to leave a man if she's older and he's older. He's bringing in money. There are a lot of different reasons why women forgive cheating. If he just says, "Oh, I just wanted to cheat for the hell of it," he probably always had a wandering eye. He probably always was a ladies' man. Some men don't just pop up out of nowhere and just say, "Oh, I just want to, have sex every now and again just for the hell of it." No, he has to have that desire within him. He has to have that urge in him. And that is something that
this conversation, like, men are the only people who cheat, though. That's my biggest issue here.
Well, women do cheat as well. But I'm just saying that a man would already that would already be in him. I believe it would be something that.
The reason why we don't really swing the pendulum about the reason why I wouldn't swing the pendulum towards why women cheat is because men, we know we ain't forgiving it. the vast majority of us don't forgive cheating. So it's kind of like that's the reason why this conversation always steered towards why men cheat, because women always find themselves in precarious situations where they either forgiving a man or still with a man that's cheating on them, but they normally have no idea why it's going on. Honestly, men, we kind of find out real quick why women cheated on us. They have no problem telling us, because what do they always do? If we cheat, it's our fault. If they cheat, it's our fault. So we find out fairly quickly why we got cheated on. So
I had a woman tell her boyfriend that she was cheating with me, and I'm like, why you do that? So
God damn, Mr. Lego, you gotta beat your chest every time.
Sometimes the woman just get mad and just blurt the shit out because she in an argument. I cheated. You know. So yeah, a woman will easily tell a dude why she cheated. I agree with you on that.
Oh yeah, let me get Stacey in there. Go ahead, Stacey.
Yeah, I think it starts with like aimless conversations as well, but I think we're constantly trying to blame the person who's being cheated on, but the reality, both of them have character flaws if it has gotten to that point. Like the man has lack of self-discipline, like he's clearly trying to fill some sort of void, whatever the void may be. And if the woman is nagging or is like confrontational or not necessarily performing in bed, or even in bed in general, like that's also an issue on her end. So it's easy to just dismiss like what the other person is doing, but like they both have character flaws, like they both have growing to do, like they both need to like figure out like what it is that they genuinely want. Like we can't just constantly be like, oh well, you got cheated on, so something must be wrong with you. But it's like, no, like the person who's cheating, there's also something wrong with them as well.
Have any of y'all got caught cheating before? Or caught somebody cheating?
I've told on myself.
I've told on myself.
I never.
Oh,
Yeah.
so y'all cheaters.
I can't live with that.
So why did you cheat, Pretty Mama?
Actually, it was high school drunk, and I cheated on my baby.
Oh my God! It's always high school.
Drunk in high school?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't count shit that happened in high school and college. I don't count none of that shit. All of that.
How did y'all get caught cheating as adults?
As adults,
You gotta count college. Come
I'm
on,
lying,
now.
y'all. Come on, as adults. I got a story. Come on, y'all. Come on.
Nobody serious in college.
But
Pretty Mama.
no, that's a bad.
not really. No, I don't cheat. I'm very.
Y'all lying. I got caught cheating because the girl's cousin was dating somebody that was upstairs from the girl that I was dating downstairs.
Damn.
That shit was crazy. I was just
Seemed like a good idea at the time, huh?
And I actually looked up at God as okay, well, you can't help me because I'm cheating, but I was just like, how? Like, what kind of coincidence is this? Right. I was just like, this is some bullshit. So yeah.
That's wild.
There's a lot of women.
So wait, you didn't, Mr. Lucko, you didn't tell either one of them?
Huh? No, the cousin told on me. The cousin was.
What I'm saying is, did the other girl know? The main one?
Okay. I was dating the girl downstairs, and it was a dude. He was gay, and he was dating a dude upstairs. Right?
What? Whoa! Wait a minute! Never mind. I don't want to hear the story no more, bro. Nah, forget about it. Nah, it's all good.
Good, bro.
Leave it alone, bro. I don't want to hear it no more. Flag on the play. I'm cool. Never mind, bro. It's all good.
We good. Gay cousin.
Forget it.
No, we good.
I was like,
no more.
Nah, it's all good. I don't even want to hear it. That's it. That's it, bro. Stop right there.
Cool. Like you still a dude. Like what's with the bro code? Like I don't care. No, I was so mad at him because he told. I'm like, bro, you're still a dude. He was like, okay, that's my cousin.
Okay. So, but you did tell the main. You did tell the side one about the main one, right?
Yeah, she knew everything was cool.
Okay. So you gotta do that.
Hold on, so you was messing with the side one, the main one, and the cousin.
No, I was seeing the woman that lived downstairs. My girl's cousin was dating a dude upstairs.
What are you talking about?
I was just doing my thing, and we ran into each other in the parking lot. And I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And he was like, "What's up? Why are you over here?" And I was like, "Why are you over here?" And I was like, He was like, I'm up to see so and so. And I was like, oh. He was like, why you here? He was like, I know why you here. I just want to know if you're going, you know. And I was like, all right, man, all right. But you gonna tell? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell. I'm like, come on, man. But yeah, I was hoping he wasn't gonna tell. But yeah, I got caught just like that.
Well,
she was fine too. She was so fine. I didn't want to leave her alone.
I wasn't expecting that. Hey, Ali,
I missed the second half, bro. I don't know if I wanted to hear that. I'm sorry.
Hey, Ali, we talking about cheat habits like this. Some man came on there just talking about how
sleeping with the cousin, the brother.
Yeah. Nah, we won't talk about that. That's what Lego was talking about.
Bro, stop. I was not sleeping with bro. Stop, man.
He's sleeping with everybody's cousin.
I was sleeping with a girl and the cousin told on me. Like, stop, y'all tripping.
But the cousin was a dude.
The gay dude, the cousin was a dude, and he ratted on me, and I'm like, what happened to the bro code? Like, what kind of dude is going to, like, what is wrong with you? Like, if it was a girl, I'd be like,
he had no allegiance to you, man. He swung for the other team, bro. He had no allegiance to you.
Like,
they don't operate by the bro code.
If
so they don't have a bro code?
By bro code.
So gay dudes don't have a bro code.
They operate by the sister code.
By girls, exactly.
Well, I didn't understand. I was just
Now
like that. Yeah, that's crazy. Cause we ran into each other and we could have talked it out. I could have gave him some money or whatever, but no, he was like, "Nah, I'm telling." I'm like, "You bitch," but it is what it is.
He blew it, literally.
I was gonna say that most of these,
I didn't blow it. He blew it.
Most of these men that's around with women. These women, some women have a man already, so everybody's cheating. Like a lot of single ladies, they have somebody that they're messing with. They just don't say shit to y'all. So I feel like all people are cheating equally because y'all messing with ladies thinking that they single when they not. They not just.
Well, hold on, Lady Di. That girl, I was her only person. Like she was dedicated to me. So I just want to say that. Just want to say that.
For that month, and then she went straight to the one she was with. She told the other dude, "I'll be back. You know, I'm gonna be on vacation, whatever." And then she was with you for that little bit of time. But she has somebody. Most ladies have somebody. They don't just mess around with toys.
I was her only one. Just want you to know.
Full of shit.
All right, go ahead, Ali. You want to chime in?
I mean, outside the fact of the way I guess society has pushed us to keep us be the new women and women be the new men, women actually support the cheating culture, if you want to be realistic about it, because they cause men to lie to them. They know a man's, and a lot of men are, some of my brothers, I ain't gonna say all my brothers, some of my brothers up here lying again, where men can't just stand on their manhood and say that's just what men do. But the problem is most men cheat because that's what a man does, but most women cheat because they settle with the guy. They're going to the liars. Instead of staying with the guy they know will deal with another woman, they go to the liar. And while they're with the liar, they will step out with the guy they actually want until they try to, if that guy gives the woman the access to marry her, she'll cheat with the guy she really wants and maintain a relationship with the guy she don't want. So women are actually supporting the cheating culture because we couldn't cheat if y'all were honest. So I give you an example. If Precious, well, I gonna use, I use Precious. I was about to say Lady Di. I can't use Lady Di. If I cheat on Precious with the lady, what's your name? Pretty Mama. If I'm cheating on her with Pretty Mama should go tell Precious what I'm doing. But Pretty Mama want to deal with me, so she'll cheat with me while I'm with Precious. And Precious know what I'm doing as well too. Especially if she wants me, she'll keep silent about it. Women support the cheating.
Like that.
Women, no, it's what women do. Women support the cheating culture because they won't pick the guy they really want, and the guy they're with wasn't their first option or their second option. It was the liar that told them everything they want to hear, but they too prideful to go, I really don't want to be with him. I want to be with the guy that probably would deal with multiple women. Because if everybody was honest, nobody could get cheated on. If I dealt with multiple women or the women I can deal with and you don't want to be with me no more, I respect the fact you don't want to be with me anymore. We telling each other the truth, but I'm dealing with the woman I deal with. There's no way you can cheat. You gone. And I'm already dealing with multiple women, so I can't lie on you. You see me who I'm dealing with. So if women stopped lying and live in a society, even the LGBT is women's fault. Now y'all fighting against trans. Now trans are going, hey, since you don't want to actually be a woman, since you're putting on wigs, since you're putting on eyelashes, since you're putting on makeup, since you're getting BBLs, since you're getting titties when you're already beautiful the way you are, we gonna take your position as a woman because you don't want to be a woman. So women are pushing this lying and cheating culture. based on the way society has pushed y'all. Y'all are opting out of actually being with actual men, and you're not being women. So everybody cheating and lying, and now we got the LGBTQI ABCD LMNOP nation because y'all don't want men to sustain order and just do what they do. If he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, it's in his nature, and you go, hey, since you holding it down, go get you another one. Go get you another one.
Did you say it's the women's fault that the LGBTQ community?
100. I'm not gonna say it's
Are we
primarily.
ready to go there?
I'm not gonna.
Let
me. It's not primarily their fault, but once you told a man to stop telling you how you should dress, how you should talk, how you should behave as a woman, then you had to stop telling me that I couldn't act like you. So women had to stop letting. We ain't walking around with stud friends. We ain't walking around with lesbian friends. Y'all walk around with gay men. Y'all support the gay culture. Y'all support the trans. We don't support gay culture. Y'all do. Y'all support men not being men until it's supposed to benefit you. Then you call him a bitch. Then you tell him he's gay when you're angry. But you know that most of the LGBT is embodying you and emulating you and making you look good until they compete with you. As soon as they compete with you, now you want to be a woman again. And that's what we're talking about. Y'all want the power of a woman. You want the privilege, power of a man, the privilege of a woman. Then you got the accountability of what let go keeps y'all being children. Y'all are supporting disorder. And y'all know you supporting disorder, but it isn't primarily your fault.
So let me ask you this. You think the men started this dumb shit? Or like, what are you talking about? Why would you ask a question like that? It's the woman's fault. Who the hell else is it? Cat's fault?
I was asking a question of understanding from Ali, Mr. Lego.
Who's hanging out with gay men?
I was gonna say,
I'm not, but I mean,
Precious, and Precious, you know better than don't say me. Don't in general.
I understand what you're saying.
We ain't hanging
out with gay people.
How many men you know hanging out with lesbians? How many men you know hanging out with lesbians and studs?
We don't even hang out with lesbians.
Because they know we'll try to have sex with them. We ain't playing that stupid game. We don't think you gay.
Actually, bro, that's a lot, man. A lot of the lesbian studs I know.
I was just gonna say, with a lot of lesbians.
It's rare. It's extreme. That's a nuance. That it. Y'all say since we've been growing up, that men was hanging out with studs and lesbians. This is nuance.
Most of the lesbian studs I know hung out with dudes.
No studs.
I was gonna say that women
no
love
man hangs out with somebody who sleeps with the same sex specifically.
Bro, and how do lesbian studs have a bunch of homeboys? Because that's who they hang out with.
It's very rare, sweetie.
Lesbian studs are very rare. Only like 14% of the population
identified. All right, here goes Sweetie. Do you believe women can have friends? Do you believe your woman can have a friend?
What does that have to do with the price?
Yeah, I'm about to get to it.
Look at studs. Who do they hang out with?
Go down the hill.
All I'm asking is, who do studs hang out with? Dudes. So you saying that men don't hang out with studs, but all the studs hanging out with dudes?
I said, you doing what I just asked you not to do. You personalize it. You making it direct.
You said men do not hang out with studs. I made the argument that.
Hold on. I said most men do not hang out with studs and lesbians because they have sex with them. If that stud opener. Do you not see the parodies out here where a stud starts acting like a man would hit a stud, a man would hit a lesbian?
That's not the point.
Sweetie, why are you just arguing just to be arguing? You know what
I'm not arguing just to be arguing. He made a statement. He made a statement that is untrue.
Here's the point. Women be around gay people. That's the
that's a lie.
Oh my God.
Because studs have male friends. So you can't say that men do not hang out with studs if studs hang out primarily with men.
No, they don't.
Well, I think he's saying the majority. Most men are not going to.
The majority of women ain't studs. So
hey, excuse me. Hold on. Hey, excuse me.
A line of men trying to hang out with them. No.
Argue. Yo, dude, don't be doing that shit. Stop. Let the man finish his damn point.
All the women on the panel. Would y'all ever be intimate with a gay man?
No.
All the men on the panel, if that studded lesbian is attractive and y'all were single, would you have sex with that woman?
1000%.
Okay, that's the difference. They're hanging out. Gay men are validating the women. Women are being validated by those men. When a guy's hanging, go ahead, Sweetie. Go ahead.
I pull them boys to the side and do my thing.
So basically what you're saying is that studs do not have male friends because the male friends don't.
Oh my God.
No, I said most men do not hang out. I said most.
Okay, all right, hold on, wait. Mr. Lego, hold on. All right. So you said most men, right?
Yeah, most men.
That goes without saying because most women aren't studs. So if you have a small population,
that's the same
hold on,
thing,
wait,
sweetie.
bro. No. So the point is that you're saying it as if it's an absolute that men absolutely do not
so
hang out with
hold on,
studs.
sweetie.
That is
Would you hang out
actually
with?
false.
Okay, sweetie. So, sweetie, would you hang out with a stud?
Yeah, I've hung out with some before.
Okay, Jr. Would you hang out with studs?
I don't have any studs. I hang out with.
Hey, Leco, would you hang out with studs?
If she got a fat ass, yes.
Trev, would you hang out with a stud?
When you looked at
look, I'll put it like this. There's been some that's in a mix, and I won't discriminate like if they already like in a set of people, but I certainly don't sought out to hang out with studs.
I'm not saying that men go out their way to seek out studs as friends.
Well, stop arguing then.
When you look at Young M.A., who does she have around her?
Who cares? That's not the point.
But let me say
a bunch of fans.
Shit.
So these studs y'all talking about, the men that's hanging out with these studs are having sex with these studs.
Ain't nobody hanging out with those studs. That's what Sweeney talking about.
No.
Yeah, we got to go ahead.
Most studs have had sex with men. I can guarantee you that.
They are having sex with men.
And they are. I agree. They're getting pregnant by men too.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, y'all.
Whoa.
Let me go ahead and get to these super chats. 11 Elephant with the 99.99. Salute to you, sir. Appreciate that.
Any studs in the chat, hit me up.
Said don't dissect topics on the show about dissecting topics, question mark. And BZ for me. Baby Zaddy, $5. Also a member says I cheat because I'm a cheater. No excuses over here. Shout out to my chat ninjas. That's for the streets. 100.
Thanks.
Want to thank everybody. Shout out to the sponsor again, T Channel, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and share the stream. We still got a lot more topics to get to. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Everybody's ready. Paradise, you good over there? Stacy?
I'm fine. Let's just move on.
I'm fine.
Okay. I'm coming to you first next, Paradise. Our next topic tonight is a real woman won't cheat back. So we're still on the cheating, but a real woman won't cheat back.
Girl said her ex was cheating and she got her lick back. She's still a cheater. Listen, good, wholesome, decent women ain't finna be on no hoe shit. If you cheat on them, they gonna leave you. They're not gonna be cheating back and doing all that all shit and running up their body count and being hoes. That's an excuse. If a woman has good character and good quality, when you violate her like that, she not gonna do harm to herself and let her catch it. Let other men use and abuse her body in the name of getting back at you. Let men take advantage of her body. Let men run through her that don't even like her, don't want nothing. A good character woman is not gonna do that when you cheat on them. They're going to leave you for sure. That's the thing. Good woman, you gotta be careful about good women because they'll leave you. They're not gonna let you do them like that. At least time and time again. They'll leave you at some point. So if she cheated back, she just as much as a dirtbag as the ex that she say cheated on her.
All right, a real woman won't cheat back. Go ahead, Paradise.
It's crazy because I actually agree with him. I don't agree with how he posed it, but I don't allow what one person's actions did to affect to dictate what I do moving forward. Because if I feel like if you cheat back, you just needed an excuse. That's all it was. Like if you were gonna cheat, you were gonna cheat. Like it was already there. Like you can't just randomly pick up and go, okay, well, you cheated on me. Let me go find another person to cheat with. No, that person was already in the tub. You already knew that that's who you was going to do it with, and you already went and made that decision. I think that the issue I have here is more so of him trying to use other men to validate, like, why she behaving that way. Like, oh, well, she weaponizing her body or letting men treat her like that, when in actuality, it's just simply like, she just a hoe anyways. She need other men to validate her hoism. It was just simply put, like, she went and cheated because she had already said, if you do something, she was going to do it back. And I don't like situations like that because it comes off as vindictive. It comes off as malicious. Like, you have to be careful with people like that. And I feel the same way about men. Like, don't cheat back. Just leave. If you got a point to prove, we don't need to be together in the first place because you wouldn't hurt me like that.
That was a fire answer, Paris.
All right. Go ahead, Stacy. What are your thoughts about it? Real woman won't cheat back.
I agree. I think the people who are cheating back already have somebody in the pool. They had been cheating to begin with. Like, I think the reality, if you're entertaining people on the side and you already have a side person lined up, you are cheating. Like, you're doing exactly what the first person said. Like, you're already engaging in conversations that are borderline inappropriate to just give you an excuse to do it. And possibly most of the time, they're probably cheating after they argued to begin with. Like Paradise said, like, I'm leaving. Like, that's my point to prove that, like, I deserve better than the relationship to this state for somebody cheating on me.
All right. Pretty Mama, what are your thoughts about a real woman won't cheat back?
I agree with the video, and I agree with Stacey and Precious, because it all boils down to knowing your worth as a woman. Like how what he explained in the video, saying like a real woman wouldn't let just niggas running up in her, and they don't know her worth. They ain't going to treat her right. They ain't going to make her feel special or anything like that. I agree with that, because as a real woman, you got to hold yourself to a higher standard when it comes to something like that. I don't think a real woman would cheat back, because like Precious said, that's just going to show her wholeness if she does cheat back. So you got to watch out for people like that, because but I agree.
All right. Trey Smooth, what are your thoughts about it, sir?
All right. So I don't think we should act like women have to have one in the chamber in order to cheat. We have to be realistic about it. A woman could literally go outside as a certified 3 of 10 and go get a man immediately. If she walk up to 5 dudes and say, yo, what's up? It's going to happen. It's very easy for her to do it. Very easy for her to do it. Women don't have to ever fish for the D. That's just what it is. They don't have to. And you never know how somebody's going to react. It could also be a coping method. Like a woman could be really hurt. That could be a traumatic event. And she seriously could just use it as a coping method. Like she don't know what to do with herself. Everybody reacts differently to that type of trauma. And when you cheat on somebody, it really hurt them. Like you could be in a relationship for 10 years and never do anything. And then all of a sudden you do cheat. And then now she wants to cheat. I'm just not going to say that that's not disrespectful to herself and her temple and everything else. Sure, at heart, she might be a 3 or 4, but that doesn't mean that she was going to cheat or that she wanted to cheat. But that could potentially just be a horrible reaction. And gentlemen, what I will tell you is if you do get caught cheating, just be proactive about it and you leave, because you don't want that get back.
All right. Go, Lady Di.
I agree with Trev on that. I believe that I don't want to say a real woman won't cheat, because if she's put in a situation where she's tempted in a way that she never thought she would be tempted to do, then it will be something of a level of maturity, I think. I just think it's a mature woman that knows that if she does something, she could destroy her family. So is it worth it? That's just how I look at it. I don't think it's about being a real woman and all that, because real women cheat.
All right.
I totally disagree.
I disagree too, Lady Di.
Only hoes cheat, y'all. Okay. So if you've ever cheated on a man, you are a whore. And the reason why is if you want to, I want y'all to think about this. All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is simply psychology. You spent your entire life telling dudes no. Okay. You have more experience than anybody on the planet of saying no to people. All right. Some older dudes try to holler at you. You said no when you was younger. You've been saying no since you were 14 years old. The one thing you know how to do is say no. All right. Do you have sex when you're single? Of course. But as a single woman, you still say no, because half of the dudes or the majority of the dudes you don't want to have sex with. So you say no. So you're used to saying no. So you're in a relationship regardless of who did what. If the man cheating or whatever, or if he's treating you right, if you cheat on that man and you've already had this much conditioning of saying no to a man's advances, and you turn around and say yes in a relationship, you are a straight up whore.
Oh,
you are literally going against your own nature by saying yes in a relationship. You're a whore if you cheat on a man in a relationship, period. Because what's name said in the video, if you're that miserable, if you're that upset, if you're that unfulfilled, you'll leave the man. Only whores cheat, period.
No, so this is why I said that. There are ladies literally, okay, that had low sex partners. They're married, okay? The same point that you made earlier about a man finally getting the type of lady that he actually wants. There are women that do that same thing. They finally got a man looking at them. That's the type of man that they wanted, but they wasn't able to get that at one point in time in their life. Now they looking a certain way, looking like a snack or whatever y'all call it today. And they're able to pull men in a different way, and they want to try it. Okay, it's just like what I guess men, what you was just saying. There's ladies literally that are not whores, meaning they didn't have sex with a whole bunch of people. I'm sorry, and they start doing it in their later time in life. That's all I'm saying.
Brothers, I'm gonna ask the brothers real quick. Hold on. Let me ask a real fast question to the brothers. If any of you pulled a woman away from another man, are you going to be able to trust her?
No.
Honestly.
No.
That's she a hoe.
No.
You're a
no.
hoe. I don't even want you no more. If you cheat
it's
on
a
me,
bad
I
idea.
don't even want you no more because you're a hoe. I don't even want you.
And to add to that, Lady Di, typically when women cheat, they're already showing the power. What Trev said, she could just walk outside and go, "Okay, I need somebody to cheat on with my man with, right?" You get a man instantly for nothing, right? When this guy, you are still valuable. You compromise your value to other men who see this. Like we all see this. You left him and you're still valuable to other men. You're still valuable to your children. You're still valuable to society. Soon as you perform that act in which you try to hurt your man, and typically you want your man back. That's the thing that's worse. You did it because you want him to hurt and you want him back. You'll never get him back. And now you're really not going to get another guy that you wanted because now you let everybody know what you would do in situations like that where you would throw your whole value away just to get a get back. When you could have just kept being who you were and you could still get access to great men, because when men see, hey man, she ain't having that, she just left. If she felt disrespected, if her integrity was lost, if this man would put that on the line to lose this woman based on an agreement, other men would want to be with you. And then we said it last show, as soon as he found out you did that, most good men will never deal with you.
Yeah, I agree.
I just want to kind of add to what Trev was saying, not necessarily on the topic of what Lady Di, because y'all can dissect what real women is. I don't really care about those terms. I don't think that when a woman has like a stable situation, like, because you got to think of it like the way y'all think about relationships ain't the way women think about relationships. So when we know we got a stable situation, we are very meticulous about how we're going to integrate another party. So more times often than not, the average woman, she's not going to pick up some random. More times often than not, she's already going to go to a man that knows her situation or has some type of idea. She may not tell him directly, like, I got another man around, but she is going to go deal with a man who's not going to bother her, who not going to try to blow up her spot or disrupt the function of what she got going on. Now, I agree, there are some women who have times where they going to sit at the bar and they like, whoever come up that's attractive to give me attention tonight, that's going to be him. But that's not a common thing for women and how we cheat, because we know if we're going to stay with our man, it's a possibility we may want to go back and do it again. But we're not trying to leave our man, like Ali said. A lot of times y'all think we trying to leave. I ain't trying to leave no stability if I'd have took this nigga back. I ain't trying to do that. I'm going to go get what I need, feel good about myself, and then I'm going to go back home and weaponize his emotions to get him out of feeling whatever he did and tell him, I did this because you did this. That's typically how women respond.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that's not going to go over well with most men, because any man who values himself is definitely not going to allow that. He's out. Because there's no way.
That's okay, but I'm just saying that's the behaviors women typically perpetuate.
It's going to be hard for you to. I know this for a fact. When women give her body to another man, typically it's over. Like, it's something about a woman, you can know she dealt with another man or did something with another man, but y'all know it as women. If you go as far as giving your body to another man, that relationship typically is over. Or if it wasn't over, you're going to have a lot of resentment about yourself for doing it because you didn't want to give your body to someone else. You did it just to hurt someone and to feel better about it, and you didn't feel better about it. For most women, when they give that body away, it hurts. They end up having resentment about it. Sometimes they end up telling the guy I did it too, and the relationship is still over.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing you can do is cheat back, because as women, you can't as a woman, if you can't handle him cheating on you, and when I say handle, I mean try to work through it, try to see what was going on, try to, if you're not going to walk away instantaneously and you feel like you could work on your marriage and or on your relationship and then you just can't work on it and y'all can't see eye to eye, then leave. But cheating is the worst thing because if you can't handle him cheating on you, you're not going to be able to handle you cheating on him. Women
Nah.
can't handle that
Mm-mm.
mentally and emotionally. Is that we're not built to handle that. We're not built to handle different bodies. We're not built to handle different sexual relationships. We're just not built for it. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, we're not built for that. Men are way more constructed for that than we are.
And
I told
And
you,
hence is why they can do it
I told
without
y'all
any
before.
emotion, which is why
Exactly.
they can do it without, having all these elaborate conversations. But women to cheat back means that you really you truly don't love yourself.
and
You
that's
never
what I'm
loved him
saying.
and you
Any
don't
woman that
love
cheats is
yourself.
a hoe.
Honestly, a woman who has been cheated on, and I would say in a marriage, the best thing you could do is love your man because then it will make him feel so bad about cheating on you.
Fat, yeah.
You would be that real woman. You would be that woman that like, wow, like I can't even believe she loving me like this. And I done did her dirty. And there are some men who may not care about that, right? There are some men that's still gonna do what they're gonna do. But ultimately, if you've joined into a union with someone and they have cheated on you, a lot of women like, oh, he cheat, I'm leaving. That's their end all be all. But when you're in a marriage with someone, I honestly don't think cheating is the worst thing that can happen to you. It's really
Precious,
not.
could
So
you say?
if you're not willing to work through it, then just leave. Don't cheat back. Just pack up your stuff, get your stuff together, and go be single and work on your hurt with a therapist and then move on from there. But I think cheating back is the worst thing you could do because you're just piling, stress and misery on top of stress and misery that you really don't need. You really
And what's crazy is if you cheat back, just like I think Sweetie said, women don't even know why the man cheated in the first place, right? So if you don't know why he did something and then you turn around and go cheat, you don't even know why you cheated because you don't know why he cheated. It could be something that's fixable or it could be something that pushes you to just leave. But if you just go out and cheat and you don't even know why he cheated, you ain't even fixed nothing. And that is, like I said, it goes against a woman's nature. Like you are a hoe if you just go out and cheat back. You're a hoe because you have no common sense. Because for women, because some women may not know this, if you go to a man that cheated on you and just say, you know what, I want to think rationally about this. Why did you cheat on me? I just want to know why so we can either get through this and I can move on or we can move on or I can move on with my life. Why did you cheat on me? And have a conversation about why he cheated and you'll get a good understanding of what to do next, whether it's cheat back, leave, or stay. But at least ask the man why he cheated instead of cheating on the man because he cheated, because that's asinine.
But most people can't have that conversation though. Most people can't be adults and actually have that conversation. And I would say a man is not going to volunteer that information, and a woman is probably not even going to accept the truth. And that's the sad part about it. She's not going to accept. She's not going to accept the truth. She's going to think that whatever you're saying is not that. It's the opposite of that. No, he did it because it is, or he did. It's not a conversation that people are truly having without a third party.
Yeah. And you got to be
I feel
honest.
like Precious is completely right about that because you can't. It's nothing you could say. Women are just not going to be having that, and then they're going to throw it in your face every single time they get a moment. So it's a lose-lose situation. You're better off just leaving that alone. And as far as a woman telling a dude, yeah, don't do that.
All right, let me get Sweeney in there. Go ahead.
I want to start it off with this, and I'm gonna give it a second to marinate. Ladies in the chat, really quick. If your man cheats on you, put a 1 in the chat if you cheating back. Put a 2 in the chat if you just leaving. I'm gonna let that marinate for a second. Cause we talking a lot up here.
Ain't no honesty about to come out of that.
I know.
No one is gonna be honest about what they're gonna do.
I'm gonna have to probably put a poll. I'm gonna have to probably put a poll up.
Yeah, I think the poll would be good. I think the majority of them are going to say they're going to cheat back.
All right, hold on 1 second.
Even if they won't, they'll just say it just because they don't like men or some shit. It's just watch.
They gone.
Vengeful.
I think they'll be honest about the bull because there's no accountability. They could,
like, oh, I'm gonna
keep it real.
back.
Hey,
I think they'll keep it real in the bowl.
Do me a favor, put in the back chat what you want me to put the poll.
No,
It's a lot of twos. It's a lot of twos.
If basically just put if you were cheated on, would you cheat back? Yes or no?
Make sure you ask if they still single too.
Don't say leave or cheat back. So
ask them if they still single too. Make sure you ask them if they still single.
Leave or cheat back. Which one? Leave or cheat back?
While he's doing that, I hate that y'all put me in a position to be a simp on this damn panel, bro.
Nah, you are. It's just like cheating. If you were cheating,
can't nobody put you in a position to be a simp, bro. We can't put you in a position.
You a simp,
It's in your blood, bro. It's okay.
Tell me what you want. Man, say
we all got a little simp in our blood. It's okay.
It's got to be the most delusional shit. Like, we talk about women being delusional, but what that nigga said was the most delusional shit I've ever heard. It is absolutely delusional to sit here and say you're not a real woman because you cheated on me back after I cheated on you. That's stupid. That is dumb. First of all, we know that First of all, I just read. We know that 35% of women revenge cheat.
35%. You just Googled that, right? We didn't know that.
Let him finish. Let him finish first. Let him finish because he's about to be on his
31% of men revenge cheat. We've already just talked about this, how people cheat for the reasons that they cheat for. They feel unappreciated. What do you think a woman feels like when you go out there and cheat on her? You think like just trying to peg her in a hole and say, "Oh, you ain't shit because you cheated back on me." That's stupid.
That's actually not stupid.
It is stupid. It's deluded.
You see what you just did, right?
Because, no, Ali, I get why you're saying it because you have the belief that men just gonna.
You said 30%. You said 30% of men revenge cheat, right?
And 35%
is that majority of men or
that is what's stupid.
That's not majority. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Let go. Hold on. Most men leaving. A man that typically revenge cheat wanted that woman. He thinks that woman's better than him too. He's gonna be stuck in that situation. It is most.
Without anything backing
it up. Said 30. You said 30%. Most 70%, 60 to 60, 70% of men is leaving. When you just said 30%. You said 30% revenge cheat.
Nobody said anything about leaving.
You say 30.
Man is going to get cheated on and
okay, so 70% ain't gonna revenge cheat. Obviously, they're gonna leave.
I think you're misunderstanding my stat. 30% of the time when man cheat is revenge cheating. That's
revenge for what? Her cheating on him? That means he stayed.
Dang, Sweeney.
Men don't stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wasn't my point. That wasn't my point. So if he all I'm pointing out is the fact that Mr. Let Go. All I'm pointing out is the fact that people revenge cheat. It is what it is. And to sit here and just make an assumption that somebody's less than because they've done something in response to being done wrong is crazy.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. It ain't just saying they less than. You a woman that can get access to men and get sex anytime. It doesn't mean anything if a woman can get a sex. It means something she can get a relationship.
So let me ask you.
If that's the case, then hold on, wait. All right,
we get it together.
Sweeney, real quick. Let me ask you this real quick, Sweeney. Real quick.
Let's have a conversation.
Do you feel like it's worse for women to cheat or no?
What do you mean?
Oh my God. Do you feel like it's worse if a woman cheats than it is when a man cheats? Yes or no? Yeah.
I think when you're talking about relationships, they're pretty much taking the same. Women don't take time.
That's where you fucking up. Right there. That's right. Yeah. See, that's why. Now I get why you're saying that. That's where you're wrong.
Women don't take time to repeat.
Hold on.
We know that without a shadow of a doubt. Women don't take time to cheating. We know this.
Most of the women won't even agree with you on the panel. Most of the women won't even agree with you on the panel, bro. Promise you.
Wall responses is because you're just not normal. We got to understand that.
What is Mr. Take Your Girl? Is Mr. Take Your Girl degrading to a man, or is it showing the valuable man? Do women go, "Oh, Mr. Take Your Girl"? They go, "Mr. Take Your Girl."
What does that matter?
When women cheat, it degrades them. Nobody wants her.
No,
go ahead, Sweetie.
he asked me
Say
which
that,
one is
Sweetie.
worse. Hold on, wait. He asked me which one is worse. I'm not looking at it from the
I
standpoint.
added to what Trev
Hold on,
said.
wait. I'm not looking at it from the standpoint of how society may see that. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the person in the relationship. Women don't take kindly to being cheated on, and neither do men. That's a fact. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a bunch of women complaining about why they had to leave a man because they got cheated on. So it's not, I can't sit here and say, oh, well, it's worse for a man, it's worse for a woman to cheat than a man to cheat, because women don't like being cheated on. Just like men don't like being cheated on.
What are you talking about, bro? He just be making up shit as he goes.
So women don't like, so women love being cheated on, huh?
Okay, when
we
you
didn't say that. We just said it's worse. It's worse.
It's
worse.
How is it worse?
Hold on, y'all.
When you
ask this question, Lego.
When you compare women to men, they're not even. I hate it when any person tries to make men and women even. It's stupid.
You still didn't answer my question.
If men, you literally
in a relationship, do women take kindly to cheating?
No, but they
exactly my point. You don't need to say nothing else. You don't need to say nothing else. They don't take kindly to cheating, so it don't matter what we say on this panel. Because it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what Ali says about it may be in a man's.
No, you sipping, Sweetie. You sipping. You sipping. Do majority of men want to engage in monogamy and traditional marriage?
I wouldn't even.
No, don't. Sweeney, answer the question. Do most men want to engage in traditional marriage and monogamy, or do they want multiple women?
Most men would engage in monogamy.
Okay, so
oh my God, that's actually been told.
Sweeney, you out of control today.
That's actually been told.
No, that's not. No, it's
actually been told. You can Google that. Google that.
Hold on, y'all.
Just saying stuff just to say it, y'all.
Hold on, I'm gonna get these votes in.
This shit is crazy.
Oh, I put a poll in, and if you want to take the poll, I'll leave it up for a little bit. We got 91 votes so far. If you were cheated on, what would you do? 91 votes. 81% says they would leave. 19% says they would cheat back.
Shout out to the hoes.
That's a grave disparity.
I said 33%, and I would assume that we have a pretty. It's all.
Let Sweetie tell it. It's
still pretty high.
50-50.
Bro, shut up. Because again, women don't take kindly to being cheated on. So it don't matter. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we try to say that, oh, it should be different. Women don't see it as different. We live in a totally different time. Women don't see it as different. They get cheated on in relationships. They don't take kindly to it. So it don't matter what we say in public.
The point is, do they stay or do they leave? They stay.
But if they didn't take kindly to it, why?
We gotta let the women get in there. Let the women get in there.
Why do women stay if they don't take kindly to it? Because if that's the case, they will be leaving.
Thank you.
In most cases. All right, hold on. First and foremost, we just seen that still majority of women do leave relationships when they're cheated on. No. That's a fact.
The majority of them
only 40% stay. That is a fact. Only 40% of women actually forgive cheating. That is a fact. You can Google that. That is a fact. You can Google it. Exactly, because you just say goofy shit and not actually back it up. It's a fact. Only 40% of women forgive cheating.
Nigga just run around Googling.
Here's a tripped out part. We know that majority of the reasons why relationships fall apart is because of infidelity, and 70% of women initiate divorces. Come on, bro.
That's not the number one reason. That's not the number.
I thought it was financial.
It's
financial.
It's number two.
It's financial like reasons.
Financial and cheating are 1 and 1. Literally, it's 1A and 1B.
What in the world is happening?
That's number 2, bro.
Let's go ahead and move on.
So number 2 by what percentage?
Just mute Sweeney for the rest of the night.
Number 2 by what percentage?
Nobody cares. We're moving on.
Mr. Lego, shut up. Hey, Trev, number 2 by what percentage? We don't get up. We don't move on because you want us to move on.
You swear you care more about a man. You care more about a woman's truth than a man's truth. That's the problem. That's the problem.
What percentage? It doesn't
That's
matter.
the problem. You're gonna die on this hill. You don't care about a man's truth. You care about a woman's truth.
What does it matter? What does it matter? What a man? Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
And don't answer his question.
What does it matter what a man thinks about it if women say they're leaving?
Nobody.
Who giving the relationships? Who's giving out the relationships? Stop. Let go. Stop. No, don't say who cares. Who wants the relationships? Who's cutting off all their women for relationships? Who's lying? Stop, Sweeney. Why you cutting me off? Who's lying? Who is lying to women about going to be being in monogamous relationships, going to be faithful, lying about the fact that they want multiple women? Who's lying? But wants to tell the truth. But when men tell the truth, it's used against them. Men can't be emotional unless they say what women care about. They can't communicate unless they say what a woman wants to hear. They can't be a leader or intellectual unless it's leader a woman where she want to go. So what are you talking about? Men have been hurting themselves for generations right now to do what women want, and it still don't work. It's still not good enough. They still, like you just said, it's still 70-80% divorces and 90% that she educated, get in the bag and a boss herself. She's gonna leave that man. He gonna have to negotiate with her. Right. So why you not caring about a man's feelings? All you caring about the fact she got cheated because typically she probably was with a valuable man. Answer that before you go to anything else.
You just
answer that.
Right?
Answer the question.
I said all of that. You don't care about your man.
You asked 5 different questions.
He asked one question. Answer it.
You just shut up, let go. We and him having a conversation. Turn off your mic. All right. So you said that men have to lie. So you basically asked who has to lie. Men have to lie, right?
Yeah. About their feelings, everything. To make women feel good.
What you're saying. So basically, what you're saying is that the reason why these men have to lie in these relationships, therefore they go out there and cheat. These women still don't forgive them, but that's because men are going against their nature, right?
You're doing the red herring thing. I didn't say that. I'm saying majority of men submit to relationships they're already not happy in anyways, but they want to do what this woman wants to make her happy. And let me finish. A lot of times these women don't be happy, and that man to keep her happy steps out. He steps out, deals with it. Let me finish. He steps out, deals with another woman to make. Sweetie, you're not even answering. You just fighting for women. You just fight. You're not saying nothing about
anybody. So what you're gonna say?
I already said it. You're not answering what I said. You're not responding to it.
What in the world is happening?
You said the majority of men are not allowed to be monogamous, so they're stuck in these relationships, right? Am I correct? So they go into these relationships, get stuck in monogamy, right?
Yeah, they're doing what women want to be, right? Most men want women. They just want women. Okay. Women want to use men to get things. So I'm saying men compromise their happiness, their feelings to stay in the family. Most men aren't happy.
Okay, so all right, let me ask you this question then. Which one is true? Either most men can get any woman, can get women at the rate in which it doesn't matter, or most men can't get women. Because we've always quote these stats that say 1 in 3 men under the age of 30 can't get a woman or either a virgin and all of this. So either we're saying that men have all these options and they just sticking with one woman because they have no choice but to be in this relationship with this woman and be monogamous, or they could just be single.
You're not responding to what I said. You're still going to somewhere else. Most men sacrificing what they truly want to do and their happiness to do what women want in 2023.
For what if they can be single?
What you mean? They're giving up their manhood to be with these women.
Sacrifice? Why would they need to sacrifice giving up their manhood to get into a relationship with a woman if they don't only want one woman? They could just be single and go and fuck however many women they want.
No, they do like you. They do like you. They lie. Get women. They want to hear lie. Women want men to lie to them.
We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
Thank you.
They want a family and kids and a wife. That's why.
All right.
This is crazy.
All right, Casey, $20. A real woman can be seduced to misbehave with the right temptation. We got winter, summer. The men saying they'll leave if the woman cheats, but will cheat on women and expect them to stay. Hypocrite. I ain't going to Sweeney. Studs hang out with studs. At least right. Transformers have power because of women and Tyler Perry. There goes Lady Di looking snackish again. Mr. Let Go. Your story was about to get real. What's that word? Like almondy?
Almondy.
Almondy. What does that mean? Nutty? I don't know.
Nutty, pause.
Leah 1999 says, I believe there is a misconception about women and cheating. There are so many married men who don't realize that their children are not theirs. Sean Light 499 says, cheaters cheat because they desire to. People use their non-compatible relationship as an excuse. Chicago English $30 says, Dialogue Ali, Let Go, Trev, Godspeed.
This is wild.
I ain't going nowhere. $5. Ladies, put a 1 in the chat if Mr. Let Go glasses came from the gas station next to the front. Guys, put a 4 if Precious can get that wifey ring.
I'm still trying to figure out why would a man settle down if he wants multiple women?
No, we moving on.
That's
Stop.
crazy. That's crazy that Trav. That's crazy that Sweeney is asking this question, yo. That's crazy.
It's crazy that you're making it.
Crazy you asking this
Move on,
question.
y'all. Y'all can save that.
We're moving on. Nobody cares.
Hey, y'all, let's try to.
Then why is
Let's try to get the ladies involved a little bit more on this next topic.
None of the crap y'all ain't got to worry about that.
Let the women talk, Sweeney. You don't want to let go today.
If a man does not achieve marriage, he will never become a real man.
And does not achieve marriage, that he will never become a real man.
Please, to me, you won't, because at the end of the day, our job is to create family.
It's not possible.
Wow. What do you get? What at the end of the day, if I never got married, if I never have a wife, family, building a legacy, anything else, I'm on this earth just to serve myself, get as much happiness, gain as much materialistic thing as possible, then die. What was that of me?
Wow.
Would you ever go at my funeral or put a mural up of me for that?
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
You would never care about that. But a man who sacrificed his whole life, a man who served others his whole life.
I disagree.
100% disagree.
I disagree.
Hold on.
Marriage is not.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Go ahead, pretty mom.
Marriage is not always the goal, honestly.
It
It's
is
not.
for men. Remember, for men now. For men, remember.
For men, I don't think so neither. I mean, all men don't want to get married. If they just want to live their life single and sleep whoever they want to sleep to, travel and not have no commitment, that's just as fine. Who said they gotta be married? That doesn't define if they have to be a real man or not. That's what they want to be. If they have their own definition of being a real man, just like we have our own definition of being a real woman. So why does it matter if they get married? Boom, you're a real man. No,
men have purpose. Women don't have purpose. Y'all just be walking around.
Bullshit. Yes, we do.
We don't have we have purpose. Y'all don't have purpose. Y'all just be running around just
move along.
About
move along. No. No.
All right, go ahead, Stacey. What are your thoughts about it?
Getting y'all hair done and stuff. Getting nails done.
And y'all, you ain't got no hair. Look at that bald ass. Go.
I want to hear Ali's point on this one.
Go ahead, Stacey.
I agree with him. I think that a man's ultimate goal in life is to protect and provide. And even like if we just go back to biblical terms, that was like the more that you created was like the greater of your wealth. And so I think the idea for men to be on earth is to build that legacy and generations.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Precious.
Not all men want to get married. However, men who want to carry on their family name, men who care about their communities, men who care about raising children and taking care and providing for a wife. It's the terms are
Don't say it.
Throws
Don't
you
say
off.
yes.
The terms, he will never become a real man. I don't think marriage needs to occur for a man to be a real man. There are men who are, striving towards marriage who are still real men. And they may not have gotten there, but even if they don't want marriage, I don't think that doesn't make them a real man. It just doesn't make them marriage material. It doesn't make them, even in the Bible, it says if you can marry, marry. If you can't, don't. If you can't do it, don't do it, because it's going to bring on its own sets of issues. It says it's written. So I don't think that it doesn't make him a real man. I just think he just knows what he's capable of and what he's not capable of. And that's what makes a real man, when you know what you're capable of.
All right. Go ahead, Lady Di.
Yeah, I agree. I think having kids is one of the biggest things that could, you were able to build your legacy. And I guess that would make someone a quote unquote real man is when you start having children.
Yep.
And that's with anybody, honestly. That's just how I feel, especially like with ladies. That's like saying if a lady doesn't have a child, then she's not a real woman. I think it's the same in that way. So I think for people having kids, it makes you a certain caliber. So I think for a man, you just need to have a lot of kids, take care of your kids, you know, don't neglect them, don't neglect the baby mother or whatever if you're not married. And I think you should be fine. That should make you a real man, being responsible.
All right, go ahead, Paradise.
I don't subscribe to terms real woman and real man. I think they real nuanced and prescribed in egotistical behavior. But I will say that based off of where this video was going, I have to agree because I personally feel like the true testament and character of a man shows when he has something that motivates him every day to take care of other people. You really get to see a man at his true authentic core when he is balancing dealing as a person, dealing as a partner, and dealing as a parent. When he can cooperate all three of those things together, you can see the best version of who he is.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't. My button disappeared. My bad. All right. So there's certain situations, right? Like, let's say that you get married to a woman and maybe you're sterile or maybe your woman is infertile. Does that mean that you can now never, ever be a quote unquote real man just because you might have a medical issue? What about your contributions to the community? What about you actually helping other younger people? There's plenty of youth that you can help. Of course, we would all want our legacy. I think that marriage is a great goal to go towards. I think people should try to get married if they could find a great partner, but we can't say that you're not a real man because you can't, because sometimes you just can't. So that means you're not a real man. That sounds crazy to me. There's so many other things that you could be contributing to in life to leave behind a legacy. There's so much positive things that you can be doing, but when you try to make it absolute and say you just can't be a real man, nah, that's too much. But again, you should strive for it. You should. I would love, you know, I'm happy that I was fortunately able to leave behind a legacy, but that's not something that everybody can do. And maybe that's just an option that you don't want, but it's not going to take anything away from you as a person. If you're doing right, you're virtuous, you have good moral values, and you contribute to the people around you. I don't understand why that would take anything away from your manhood.
All right. Go ahead, Sweeney.
Oh no, go let Ali go first.
All right, brother. You've been chosen, Ali.
Men were put on this earth to make the world better for men, women, and children, building infrastructures, being providers, being builders of great nations, and ultimately women and children are for men. The greatest thing a man can do is create children and investing in people. The greatest thing you can do in investing in this world is creating children. But I'm gonna say this like I said over and over again. Women and children are for men, marriages are for women. A woman earns a marriage. If a man didn't get into a marriage, it doesn't mean he's not a real man. If a man is investing in brothers, if a man is investing in sisters, if a man is investing in nation and worlds to make it a better place for everyone to flourish, that's a great man. If the women in today's time are putting themselves in positions where they can't build with a great man because they're not on his page, that doesn't make him not a great man. If that man is a great man, the best thing all these brothers can do right here is invest in themselves and push themselves as high as they can, and they love who loves them and wants to build with them. If the woman doesn't want to build with them, that doesn't make that man a real man. What makes a real woman is a woman earning the marriage with those great men to have children so that he can create children. But a man not having marriage does not make him not a real man.
Sweeney.
Checkmate. That's all I got to say. I ain't got nothing to say.
No.
Checkmate.
Answer it, because I know he a co-star on your show. So you go ahead. That's a woman's answer. When we're living today now, where women are saying they don't need men, they don't need families, they don't need children, and they're gonna prioritize themselves for happiness, and everybody's clapping, including Sweeney. And she can divorce when she feels like it. How does a man being married make him a real man, Sweeney? Make sure you answer it. Don't run away from the answer. That doesn't make a man a real man. A man, if he marries a woman, he doesn't quit on that woman. He takes care of that woman. He builds with that woman. And the greatest thing he can do is create great people by creating children. But if that woman and that child is not on this page and he moves away from them and creates another family, that's nature. So I'm asking you, how does marriage define a man? Marriage defines women. Women on earth.
I never said I actually disagree with anything
So
you said. I'm just saying checkmate in regards to our last conversation. Checkmate. I don't disagree with anything there. Just checkmate. Because you just torpedoed your own argument from the last
Explain how, other than saying I torpedoed.
You basically, all right. And this is about to be, man. No, I'm not about to do that.
No,
we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
No, hey,
break it down, bro. I let JR say he gonna let me have this.
No.
Hey, y'all.
Stop. Either answer the question or not.
All the chat is watching. We all on the panel respectfully. JR asked you a question and you shot it back at me as a man. So you got to answer it as a man because you put it on a man to answer the question. So you got to answer it as a man.
Answering it. I have no problem.
Okay, so how did I torpedo?
In respect to the panel.
I'm gonna go ahead and answer within 2 minutes, man. Go ahead.
Answer the question, bro.
You asked me the question earlier about why do men find themselves getting into these relationships, and I just told you. I said, why would a man subject himself to something he does not want when he can just stay single? If you would have answered this question differently and agreed with the original post, I would have rocked with you on your answer. But you just literally torpedoed your own answer by saying that marriage is not.
Lady Down answered the question.
You just torpedoed your own argument because there is no reason why a man would need to get into a relationship for no reason at all, because he can go out and make children without a relationship. He can go out and still deal with multiple women without a relationship. So you saying that men subject themselves to monogamous relationships against their own will it doesn't make any sense, because you're basically saying that men don't have to do it because the marriage is solely for the women. So they can go out. We seen in practice that men go out and make babies with several different women without ever having to actually commit to them via relationship. So with that being said, checkmate.
No,
we can have it.
Checkmate on Sweeney simping. Women who leave their men and push for stepdaddies of the year and want stepdaddies tell men who leave the women because they don't listen, and sisters agree, answer truthfully. Don't a lot of women tell men to go back to their wife? Go back to their baby mama? Everybody? Women?
Okay. Are y'all done?
Let go. Hey, let go.
We can move on.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What are y'all doing? Are we done? Can I go?
Don't do that. Let go. Don't do that.
Listen, let go. You can go now.
I go because I don't care.
Can you stop? Can you stop? Let go, please. I'm just gonna do a statement since nobody can answer.
Checkmate.
Can you tell let go to stop, please?
All right. We'll let Ali just do a statement and then we'll go.
Right. Just finish.
Most men who stand 10 toes down on manhood and leave their women because they weren't listening. Women as a whole would tell those women, that man, to go back to that woman, while if that man isn't listening, want to go get stepdaddies and hope there's other men right there for their women and children. Simps, like what Sweeney is doing, what like that dude just did up there, are telling men to still get married, still push for marriage, still be responsible, still make sure they take care of all the society, while women are going, nope, I ain't got to do that. While women are turning around and saying they ain't got to do none of those things that men are doing, but men like you are telling men to still be responsible, still push for marriage. And let go do it too. He'll flip flop too. While y'all admit that women are children, women don't listen, and women are picking pookies and picking lesser men instead of picking great men. So make sure you stand on the fact that you sipping and flip flopping like let go do it.
What did I flip flop on?
All right. We're gonna go to let go. We're gonna let go.
Yeah, go ahead, let go.
Nobody wants to hear you, Sweeney. Be quiet.
Bro, look, see, now I'm about to ignore you. Now I'm just playing, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. A man's job, like somebody said on the panel, is to protect and provide. But to protect and provide for who? For whom? If you don't get married, if you don't have kids, if you don't start a legacy, who the hell are you protecting and providing for? That is the first thing. You are not living out your purpose of protecting and providing if you're just this individual person that's just running around sleeping with women and doing whatever. All right. You are actually going against your nature as a man, because your job is to find somebody or find a community to be responsible for and contribute to that community or person or family and bring it up and make it better. That is our jobs, our purpose as men. But if you don't get married, if you don't have kids, you literally are just like a big hunk of flesh that didn't do shit and was just in the way, like trash going down in the sewer when it rains. So altogether, A part of serving his community as a man is marriage, because you go to a woman's father and ask for her hand in marriage. So it's not only you building or continuing your legacy, but you are building and continuing her father's legacy also by marrying and impregnating and making a child with his daughter. That is the community side of providing and protecting. And if you do not have children, if you do not get married, you are literally just a goddamn a cup just blowing in the wind, going down the damn sewer when it rains. That's really.
Are you married?
No,
I was married and I have kids.
So you trash now. You just told everybody you trash.
No,
it matters if you say Sweetie not trash. According to you, Sweetie is the trash. You trash.
Can you stop for a second? I protect and provide for my family, whether we're married or not. I still protect and provide for my
That's
kids.
not what you said.
No, I said a man is to protect and provide. And I did go to my ex-wife's father and continue her legacy because we have children. What the hell are you talking about?
No, you said if you're married, you're not trash. If you're
married, I did it. I have children.
Okay, so hold on. So if I get married and divorced,
you get married, you can break the covenant. You all good.
Ladies, let me tell y'all.
Who are you protecting and providing for? Every man.
The problem is, man, don't. Nah, let go. You flip flop.
The panel right now is protecting and providing for somebody. So we are all in our.
I agree.
About y'all.
That's what we said. But you just said men are trash if they. You just said men are trash if they're not married. I agree they should be providing and protecting. But you said they trash.
Everybody up here is either married and has children or has children.
Now you're making it.
Bro, you can't start moving the goalposts.
Hey, JR. So
if you gonna say so, stand on it.
This is what's happening in the content creation community when people will spit on the red pill space on men telling the truth and women saying, hey, tell me the truth. Tell me how you think and feel. What happens is men can't stand 10 toes down on the truth. And when women get into the spaces and when women get in their space, they won't tell the truth, so they don't compromise not having access to women. They'll tell when women on the panel, they go, hey, men ain't being great leaders. They don't know how to instruct. They don't know how to put this woman and manage this woman. They pick wrong. They didn't see the red flags. But when they with brothers, man, these women, they're children. Let go. They go to pookie pickers. They just don't. They want lesser men. They don't know how to pick men, great men, because great men are intimidating and they have options. This is the contradictions that confuse women, and why women keep doing what they doing is because men lie. In one. No, you flip flopping again. And Sweeney's simping again. Y'all, if y'all say we standing 10 toes down,
bro. What are you talking about?
Well, go ahead, cut off. Go ahead, cut off.
Or what are you talking about, bro? All I'm saying is, just think about what I said. A man goes to another man and says, "I want to marry your daughter," and he starts a legacy with his daughter. So that means he started his own legacy and he started the legacy of somebody in his community. That is part of protecting and providing and bringing forth and continuing a legacy. I did that.
Part of it is also staying.
All right,
part of it is also staying. You don't get to walk away and then say that. Oh, go ahead, JR.
We're ready to move on. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to Lapeef Flash Talks. Make sure we get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got a few super chats came through. Says, I ain't going nowhere. $2, Mr. Lego. Change your name to Mr. Don't Let Nobody Go. Check Auto LLC. Question to the panel. Can a single male or female pastor give marriage counseling to married couples? If yes and no, why? Kenny? Paradise?
Ask Lego.
Ain't no woman telling me nothing.
I think they can.
No, I'm gonna say no. If they're single, then I mean, something like counseling, I feel like you should have some type of experience, particularly marriage. Like if you're single, I wouldn't want to take your advice because you don't necessarily know everything that goes into it. Not to say they won't give sound advice, but I wouldn't take that chance. That wouldn't be my first option because if you don't know, like, what, because every phase it changes, right? Like, you might just be girlfriend and boyfriend, then your fiance. When you're married and all the bills are together, you start having children and stuff, everything changes. You know what I mean? Some women go through postpartum depression. Some people don't know how to pay bills together. You find out that this person got bad credit. It's a whole situation to find out when you tie the knot, and you like, damn. So many new arguments and so many new levels of growth. Well, that just come with marriage. So you can't want to talk about that. You can't school me that's like taking financial advice from somebody who's not sound financially. It doesn't make any sense. I always try to go with someone who's experienced if I'm going to take advice. And I also believe single people keep people single. Go ahead.
Respectfully, I know that you're married, Trey, but I have to disagree because a lot of times when you are in the thick of something, you can't see the full picture. And then when we talk about single people versus married people, we forget single people have experience, not necessarily always being married, but some of them do have experience being married. Like now, 50% of marriages have ended in divorce. So it's a lot of people walking around who have been married before. And then we are saying this as if like some of those nuances that come into those relationships don't show up in regular singlehood relationships. I'm in the Black community. I can tell you right now, my auntie been with her boyfriend for 19 years and to turn down 4 rings from him, but she ain't leaving him. So it's like when we saying these things, we act as if these nuances don't come up. Like people don't have these experiences. Even when it comes to debt, it's a common thing in the Black community for people to move in together and pay bills together and practice marriage before they ever even get down on one knee. So I just can't agree with that because we minimizing people's situation based off of you having the title versus they don't.
Here's the problem with that. They said, so hold up. Here's the problem with that. They said pastor, and pastors generally don't shack up or have children before they're married. And that's what I'm saying. They can't tell me things about how to deal with children. They can't tell me about living together and paying bills and all that because you're talking about a pastor, and pastors generally don't do that. And if it is a pastor that is fornicating and is having children out of wedlock, then I definitely don't want their advice.
But that goes to my point because pastors typically have a past. Pastors typically have lived that life before, and they would tell you that they were renewed and brought whole. So even when you're saying that and a man is going, well, I'm single, you're discounting what potentially could have been his experience because all you heard was I'm single.
So you're saying that typically pastors shack up and have children out of wedlock?
No, typically pastors are not the man that they are today. Typically pastors have a very elongated past where people are
most
trying to
used to smoke crack.
Or they're trying to.
I beg to differ on that one.
And lie.
Future.
No, I'm dead serious. Pastors be smoking crack.
Hold on,
If
y'all.
you go talk to any pastor, a lot of times them pastors will tell you, I used to be in the world. I used to not be the man that I was today. I used to do these types of things. I partake in drugs or alcohol. I used to be a chauvinist land with every woman. Pastors have that story too.
I'm not sure what churches y'all go to, but I haven't had that.
Sure, if you ain't never heard
experience. And I'm definitely going
crack.
Smoke weed every day.
Not my pastors, no. Not my pastors, no. First off, how many of y'all cats grew up in church? First of all, how many of y'all grew up in church and like really went to like a lot of churches and stuff?
I had.
When I was younger.
That's what your pastors was doing.
A lot of pastors.
My grandfather was.
Y'all telling me that typically you trying to tell me right now that typically pastors have shacked up and typically pastors have children out of wedlock. That's
I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why
that's what makes them whole. That's what makes them to be a pastor.
My grandfather had a past. And he was a pastor.
Y'all got some different experiences. Y'all might want to change your denomination or something. I don't know, but that's not my experience. That's not my experience. I don't know what y'all talk about. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's definitely not typical for. It's not typical for pastors. First of all.
Just based on like you're one person on the entire panel, and out of 10 people, 9 of us have said, man, most of the pastors we know have had to, including my grandfather,
the deacons too.
And he had a pass.
So did he have children? He had children out of wedlock?
Yes, because the woman that he married and he's been with was not You know what I mean? That was not the mother of his children. Yes.
And Sweeney, did he smoke crack?
And that's a whole nother story. And that's the whole thing. See,
I wouldn't know about.
I don't follow people.
I think he might have definitely done some drugs. You know,
do this. A lot of people, a lot of people that grew up in the 60s smoked crack. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Crack wasn't even invented in the 60s. Crack wasn't invented in the 60s. Didn't you say you was a drug dealer last week?
They were born in the 60s. Like teenagers, crack was like normal.
Not in the 60s.
I said born in the 60s. Trying to
they
tell
weren't even born in the 60s. Oh, you said people who was born in the 60s.
Born in the 60s, they end up smoking crack, doing all this crazy shit, and they end up being pastors.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know where y'all been going. A lot of pastors are reformed, dope dealers,
and he's going to
crack
tell you the
addicts, drug users.
Listen, Listen, I knew plenty of pastors. None of them had children out of wedlock. And even if that's the case, it's not someone that I'm going to listen to.
Crack, though.
If you're not living that life, go ahead.
But with their kids off the chain, though.
Probably.
Was most preacher kids, especially their daughters.
No.
Not the ones you do.
Listen. Wait, time out. Hold on. I've met some pastors' daughters. Yes. Yes, I understand that.
Look at it. Trev had to catch yourself. You say, yeah.
So if the daughters,
we got
come on, the daughters. People know a lot of I'm not saying all pastors bad, but they weren't perfect. But the fact it's kind of disingenuous, Trev. And I'm saying respectfully to you, I think you're a great brother. I think you give great advice. Your platform is fire. But when you're saying things like that, it's like saying that people shouldn't even be able to work with kids if they ain't got kids. Like you were in your 30s when you got married, right? And you were single. The fact that you married isn't the fact that you give advice on a marriage. You giving advice on how to sustain a healthy relationship that has nothing to do with marriage. It's beautiful if you can get married, but there's people who can sustain long relationships if they're not married. Marriage is just a title. There's people who's miserable that's not married. There's people who's miserable that they are married. If you look at the polls, they say that 60% of the people in marriages are unhappy. So if we're gonna base it on that and 50% get divorced, then we can say that you shouldn't be able to get advice to single people because you're not out here. You're in your marriage, you're not having experiences we're having, and that's disingenuous. I do believe
that's different. That's different.
I do believe though.
I'm saying, go ahead, finish up.
I do believe though you should have some type of credibility about yourself, whether you're a good person. And knowing how to conduct relationships with people, knowing how to converse with people, knowing how to express yourself and treat people. I think that should be some validity to it if someone can create a good relationship or not. Because if you're going to say that, brother, you have to acknowledge the dating scene now. And you acknowledge how bad the dating scene is. Sweetie acknowledge how bad the dating scene is. Most of the people on the panel have acknowledged how bad the dating scene is. So a lot of people can't create marriages because we can't create great relationships, but the value of people and the state of people is the worst it's ever been. There's not good people. There's not a lot of good people. So even if you're coaching on marriage, you'd have to hope the person you meet is a good person and you're a good person. You know, there's a lot of more things that's coming to marriage than just being
And I also will say
no matter
a lot of times we emphasize experience, but I want to be the first to say, I don't want to experience a house fire in order to know how to prepare food. Like, and that's where we have to stop always trying to integrate and hold people to the same standard. Like, oh, well, you ain't been through this, so you don't know. You can't tell.
Right.
Teachers getting trained every day to go teach your kids, and they ain't having no babies. You know, it's like, you know, you can get experience by you not actually having to do it. And we talk about the quote unquote pookies and ray rays all the time. So you mean to tell me I got to go lay with a man and become a single mama in order to understand that being a single mama ain't probably the best route for me to take? Like, a lot of times we minimize people based off of our own biases, but the world don't look like that no more. We're not shunned out from anything. So all of these other experiences and nuances, they could probably have other people that are around them that they can see exactly what's happening in these situations without them having to go through the fire.
And still, that being said, I still will take advice from people with experience. No matter what I'm looking at, no matter what facet. Just
I
like I said, if it's financial advice, I'm going to take it from somebody who is really good with money, somebody who has money, who has shown improve. So for marriage, it doesn't feel any different for me. I feel like you should have the experience. And I'm not saying you're stupid for taking advice from somebody who isn't, because there's certain things that I could listen to. But when you're talking about counseling, where I want direction, why the hell would I not want to choose somebody who actually knows everything about it, or at least more than me about it? I would rather, if I'm going to take advice from somebody, I would rather it be from somebody who has had a long-term marriage and has more experience than me to guide me, than somebody who is not in the situation that I'm trying to be in. That always makes sense to me.
A lot of times people who are doing that are also people who are looking to be vindicated and how they feel about a situation. And you see it a lot of times where men say, oh, you don't need to listen to your women friends because she telling you she'd have been through this already, but she really just projecting her feelings. And that's why I would say that that's dangerous. You have to be really careful about people having the same experiences as you, because you're trying to build a bond of familiarity, like, oh, they went through this, but really you just dealing with somebody who can project their own feelings, because you have to go into that with good faith, anticipating that they are healed, anticipating that they're telling you something actually out of your best interest, and not from them saying, well, you ain't got to deal with this, because I mean, when I did it, it was X, Y, and Z, and a lot of times that's not how we're looking at situations at all.
Okay, now even with that, it's not gonna. I'm listening to him for experiences, right? That's why I'm saying experience. I want to know certain things that happen, certain things that go on. What should I look out for? I'm still going to be able to discern whether they talking nonsense or not. They're not going to be able to give me bad advice. They can give me some insight. Insight is different. A person that hasn't dealt with it can't give you the same insight.
That's not necessarily true.
That's not true.
Because I would say this.
That's not true.
Let me
explain. Hold on, let that go.
I agree with Trev only because so I understand what Paris is saying. Like, I don't think you should take advice from every person that has experience, because there's people that have experience and then tell you not to do something and it'll be on a negative approach. You need to make sure you have experience and then have results after that. Say, hey, this is what I used to do. I've changed. I'm a new person. This is what I do now. And then now you're showing yourself and you're being a good example. But I would never take I would never take advice from someone who has never had experience. Like, let's talk about, let's say, having kids. I'm not going to go to somebody and ask them about childbirth and you never had childbirth. All you're going to do is go on a textbook and say, well, this is what childbirth is. You got to make sure you're talking to people that have been through something, or it don't have to be nothing bad. It's just something that they've been through. They're able to actually dissect and tell you, well, this is what happened to me, right? I know other people, this is what happened to them. And then you could do your comparison chart. But you can never talk to somebody that had never been through something, good or bad, and expect to get a good result from it and then go off of that information. That's bad information for you. And I don't think that's right. Now, I'm not disrespecting no one that's, never had an experience, and you try to tell me something because it could be very wise. Yes. But it's not, I don't think it's smart to just go with that and you never had nothing to, never had experience. So
you know who do it all the time though? Data analysts. And they do it specifically in the Black community, and primarily those people are white. They've never had the experience, but we utilize all of their data and our talking points to vindicate any conversation we have. So that kind of contradicts everything y'all saying.
What did you say? Who? I didn't hear the person. Who?
Data analysts, and they're typically white. Data analysts? Yeah, they are typically white people in that job field, and they've never had any experience as being a Black person, but we use a lot of their research in conversations with Black people to validate the shit that we say, and it literally contradicts everything y'all saying, because they never
that's data, not opinions though, right? That would be like information. That's data versus an opinion. That's completely different things.
It's not though, because data can be skewed, data can be manipulated.
All right. So I think we're getting off. Here's the thing. If I was to go off of the question, it would depend on that pastor's results. That's simply what I would base it off of a lot of the times. Because if you have a pastor in your church and you have a bunch of married people and that pastor is highly recommended based on, hey, look, I was able to stand, he helped me with this situation in my marriage, it made my marriage better, then I wouldn't see that. I couldn't see somebody being like, no, I'm not going to listen to that pastor because that pastor's not married. I would say it's all about discernment. Is what do your pastor typically have the ability to help out people who are in marriages? If they do not, don't take advice from them, or if they do, then you should be able to go and take advice from them. Nobody's telling you that you have to take everything that they say as law, but I wouldn't necessarily discount a pastor, female or male, just because they've never been married before. I would go off of their results. If you're a marriage counselor, then there should be some type of data that I can go off of to be able to determine whether you're a valuable option or not.
But tell me what. Oh, okay, go ahead, Gerald.
Yeah, and I just want to kind of get the rest of these super chats and got a couple more topics. I ain't going nowhere. $10 says a real man builds up and or adds value to others in society. If you don't get married, don't mean you're not a real man. Now, on the other hand, eating groceries and changing tires makes you less of a man. Just kidding, let go. BZ for me, baby Zaddy Fat Out says, lady, I'm gonna need y'all to stop being so feminine this Thursday. Damn it. They want y'all to go.
Hold on. So eating ass and changing tires, that's not giving back to community. I'm buying a woman some tires and eating her ass. How is that not helping the community? I'm confused.
Bruh. Big at 11, $10. A pastor me advice is like, let go, giving me advice on how to be tall while I listen to that crap. Z Jackson 199 says, not typical for pastors to tell the truth. I ain't going nowhere. $2 says, trash. Some of the best football coaches never played.
Thanks.
Rob 499 says, let go should only be allowed 150 characters when speaking per episode. They're trying to censor you, brother. Trying to censor you. I did want to get into this topic, man, and this is from 100 Days of Summer. He put up a clip from this documentary called The Century of Self. So I'm going to play it, and I'm going to read a little bit of what 100 Days of Summer had to say, and then we'll go ahead and talk about it. So here's the clip right here.
Like short skirts.
Oh, because there's more to see.
More to see, eh? What good does that do you?
Much more handsome. It makes you more attractive.
It does?
He organised fashion shows in the department stores and paid celebrities to repeat the new and essential message. He bought things not just for need, but to express your inner sense of yourself to others.
There's a psychology of dress. Have you ever thought about it? How it can express your character? You all have interesting characters, but some of them are all hidden. I wonder why you all want to dress always the same, with the same hats and the same coats. I'm sure all of you are interesting and have wonderful things about you, but looking at you in the street, you all look so much the same. And that's why I'm talking to you about the psychology of dress. Try and express yourselves better in your dress.
All right, so this is from 100 Days of Summer. He said his clip is from a documentary called The Century of Self. What's the message behind the first commercial? Having more to see makes you more attractive, and it's being depicted by having the women surrounded by a sea of men, implying if you wear short skirts, men will flock to you. An image that makes most women cringe today was also the inception of the idea most women defend today when it comes to a man's opinion on how they should dress in front of other men. What is the underlying desire the campaign is targeting? What is the shameful human desire that has to be repressed so no one judges it? It's the innate desire for the more male attention. Why would nature make it innate for women to desire the attention? Simple. If you're not seen and desired, you can't be chosen for procreation. I asked the women on this page if they still wanted to be desired by other men when they're in a relationship. The answer was overwhelmingly yes. And the reason was because they're human, referring to something innate. This is why men want to control what their women wear. They innately understand that if a woman is drawing attention, men will approach her to eventually try to procreate, and that future forecast creates relationship insecurity. Unfortunately, an insecure man is seen as a turnoff to women. Instead, a man is only seen as secure if he celebrates his woman for exhibiting behavior that is usually indicated that he is replaceable.
Wow. Ali, I'm gonna let you handle this one.
See, I keep
I don't
throwing
know
it
what
back
the hell
on.
going on.
Nah, you gonna go. I can go. Sweeney, you gonna start going first, so you can listen. I can listen to your answers and go off those answers. So the
Oh
main.
shit.
So am I addressing the propaganda telling women to wear less makes them more attractive? That's what I'm addressing, right? Okay, so I believe there's nothing more beautiful, more precious, and greater than a woman in her purity to her core. But the woman's body belongs to her man and her child. But she's so powerful though that if she takes all those things off and becomes revealing, she can get the most attention and seem the most attractive. But just because she's getting attention and being attractive doesn't mean that she's gonna have someone invested in her life and building with her. And we see it in today's time. And I'm sure Lady Di and Real Precious, I'm sure they speak about it. There's nothing more important for the woman to get more than respect over attention. You'd rather be respected than get attention. If you take all your clothes off, you can get a lot of attention. You may seem attractive, look attractive, and it's crazy how much women are investing in their lips, on their breasts, on their behinds, on their entire body, and still can't get a man and have a family, versus the women who are not seen that are building great, beautiful families with men that men sustain, invest in, and give security to. So yes, she may look attractive. You may get a whole bunch of attention that means absolutely nothing. But as we both know, a lot of us know the value, the price of everything, but not the value of it. Women that can't be seen or unheard typically are the ones who are being invested in and are the most valuable. The women who everybody sees belongs to everybody. The women you can't see or hear from, they belong to a great man typically.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Lady Di. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I know in this society we've been taught to just kind of wear whatever you want. I know, like in my time, women started wearing mini skirts. Belly shirts were out back then. But it's just things that are learned. When you start to kind of revert and start to cover up, you realize that you are not paying attention to what you have to wear. You just, doing and making other things great about yourself, because a lot of us, we get too wrapped up into the mirror and trying to see what looks good. Should I put a leg out, not put a leg out? Should I show some cleavage or not? When you're just wasting time, you know what I'm saying? Just put on something nice that looks good and then try to focus on other things. Because sometimes when you wear things that are revealing, you're going to attract the wrong man if you're single. So you don't know. I'm not saying all men who are attracted to women that are revealing themselves are bad, but you're not going to know by every man that comes up to you which one is the right one for you. So I think to play it safe, I think it's better to just kind of like be more modest, and you'll attract more of an honest man.
All right. Go ahead, Paradise.
I was raised with less is more. You always want to keep some mystery. I mean, I've seen the evolution, and I do, sometimes dabble and modify my aesthetic, but I do understand too that clothes have a language. That's the bottom line. Clothes have a language, and sometimes, depending on what you wear, you will attract the man that wants you in the moment, but not need you long term. And you just got to be willing to decipher between that. There are some men that are absolutely okay with extra provocative clothing. I wouldn't consider that the majority, though. And I would say that even when you are getting certain type of appreciation from that, there's definitely other ways to get appreciated and acknowledgement from men by being your true authentic self without showing every piece of your life.
All right. Go ahead, Trash Smooth.
All right, so there's a big difference between attention that you would like and just sexual attention. When you do that, that's all you're going to get is sexual attention, and that's finite, right? So because there are some men who like to show off their women and they think it's cool and they get a kick out of it, but most of us don't want everybody to see that. Like Ali was saying, that's for you. That's your man's. That's not for everybody. There's nobody who, I don't know a lot of dudes who appreciate that. There are certain things that you can look good in. There's a balance. I think Paradise alluded to that a bit, where there's ways that you can accentuate your curves. That's different, right? But there's not a bunch of skin out there, right? There's not a bunch of cleavage. You're not exposed. So you can look nice. You can look good. You could be even sexy in certain ways, but without revealing so much, and that would be the balance, and that would kind of get people to look at you, but at least they'll understand to respect you because it's not too much. There's a balance. Once you start going overboard and we see too much, we're immediately triggered to think about sex, and that's what we're aiming for. If we see you like that, that's how we're going to approach you. We already know, oh, she know what time it is. I'm about to run down. That's just what we think. And it doesn't matter what type of woman you are. That's the type of approach you're going to get, like it or not. You can't really get mad when people react a certain way, right? Like, and it's not right for men to behave like that and just be disrespectful and everything, but it's to be expected. And as a woman, you know, or should know that that's a reality just from the first time you wore something like that. You see how dudes came at you. Dudes will holler at you from across the street, whistle at you, clap, ayo, or whatever. That's what they're going to do when they see you like that. So sure, it'll make you more attractive, but sexually attractive.
All right. Go ahead, Precious.
I think when women don't have no clothes on, they don't know how to dress. I'm just convinced. They just don't know how to dress their bodies. I'm convinced. And he made a statement in there. He said that women are dressing with less clothes even while they're married to attract other men, or they still want to be desired by other men, I think is what was said. And I think that's crazy. I think when you get in a relationship, why would you want to still be desired by other men? It's just attention and a headspace that you're putting yourself in that you don't need to be in. Why be worried about other men? I think that if you're with your man, he's attracted to you, and he showed you that he's attracted to you, that's the only person that you need to dress for. And like I said, I think that women who just don't have no clothes on, they just don't know how to dress their bodies. Tight is not always right. It's just not. You know, you have to know how to dress your body and still look presentable and still Paris said it. Your clothes tell a story. And you don't have to have on the tightest thing. You don't have to have on the skimpiest thing. You just have to know how to dress your body. And I think that's what's lacking. Women just throw on anything, or they just feel like they're going to get this attention, but of course it's not going to be long-term attention. It's a short-term wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and that's it. But I think that there's a way that you can dress your body where you still look beautiful. You can still look sexy. You can still look, you know. Ow! Now you know, JR. That's my sound. But you can still look in a way where people are curious about you. You have this mystery about you. And I think that that's how women should carry themselves. You don't have to look like a nun. No. But you can still look attractive and still have a mysterious way about you.
All right. Hey, Sweeney went already? All right, go ahead.
Once you pick, why do you need to keep peacocking? Once he picks you, why do you have to keep peacocking? Unless your end goal is to get a bunch of dudes to run through you, why are you still peacocking? There's no point. You've been picked. Sit your ass down somewhere. So yeah, and the guy is right. Women tend to wear less to get more attention. But then they always tend to also complain about the attention that they get. You say, oh, I want the attention, but then you hate the type of attention that you get. Maybe if you just sit your ass down somewhere, because there's nothing wrong with being beautiful. Nobody's telling you not to be beautiful. But you going out there and going to Steph Curry, going to Aisha Curry route ain't gonna get you nowhere. It's gonna get you left dealing with men. And I'm tired of them trying to put this idea on men that we're insecure because we don't want our women out there dressing like hoes. It's not an insecurity. I don't want you out there showing off the shit that you said that I had to pay for.
Nope.
I committed to this marriage. I committed to this relationship. I committed to you. That'd be like me going out there and throwing my money at a bunch of different women, paying for they clothes, they house, they everything else.
Hell yeah.
And then you tell me, oh well, I just like making women feel good. You know what I mean? I like to pay for shit around here. I don't want you showing your ass to nobody else but me. I don't care what it is. Once you got picked, stop peacocking. Unless you're a hoe. That's the only reason why you should still be peacocking is if you're a hoe, you try and you ain't married, you ain't got no man, you just trying to get some money out of it or whatever, then you can go keep peacocking all you want. But once you've been picked, ain't no man going for that shit. Am I being bleeped? My cousin too much?
No. I'm looking at the production team right now. They say you good.
Well, like I'm in total agreement with Ali on this. Like that's why I asked Ali to go first because I already knew he was gonna shut all that shit down. But they need to stop trying to make it as if men are insecure because we don't want our women dressing like hoes. This is bull crap. Women, the women do want attention. That's without a shadow of a doubt. But at some point, you have to understand control and discipline. Once you're married, it's time to shut that shit down. It's over with. You don't get to keep going out there and showing your behind. Once you get picked, it's over with. Sit down.
But you do
That's
know
all.
that you do know that women that are doing that, it's because of their insecurity. They feel like they're nothing if they don't show some skin.
I don't care why the chicks do it. I don't care why you do it. If you,
Sweeney,
the fact of the matter is,
I don't care. I agree with you on that. And I would further say that only an insecure man who doesn't understand his value would tolerate his woman dressing like that. That's what's actually insecure. The men who would tolerate that, not the people who would. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy? We just saw it live and direct. Adam 22. Do we sound like the most secure man on the planet? That dude backtracking and flip-flopping and trying to double back on his words, trying to show that, hey man, I'm the man in this situation. How many like you got porn stars out there, right? Porn stars out there right now can't show their man's face. Why? Because the moment the moment men come around and be like, hey, bro, hey, that's tough. He gonna start getting embarrassed. He gonna want to walk away from your ass. So these porn stars can't even show they boyfriends' faces because they know what that comes with. You embarrass your man when you go out there and do that.
You see, old girl,
you can't come back from that.
You see that Adam dude is already fighting with the other dude. He already feel crazy about it. The Adam dude, the dude that let his woman,
Jason Love.
They already beefing.
Jason
He's
Love.
already embarrassed. Yeah. He's mad, like he regretting what he did. They're beefing now.
Bro went out there and did it. I don't care if it's fake or not. You gonna feel some type of way about some dude talking about some. Yeah, I plugged your wife and she enjoyed me more than she enjoyed you. Oh, that's what you open up when you go out there and you let that type of stuff happen to you. When you let the world experience your woman, it's a wrap, bro.
Imagine living in a society where men led with their meat. Like we walk outside with our meat out. We like walking everywhere with our man. People are like, oh, right? But imagine that kind of society, right? But even when men pretend, at least they'll lead with, even if they faking, they leading with money, they leading with car, they leading with a house, they say they're leaders. Women don't lead with a plate of food. She not leading with what her heart look like. She not leading with what she thinks like. She not leading with how she can treat society. She's leading with her butt. Like for the ladies in the chat, and I know not necessarily on the panel, but worldwide, like what do we expect from a society when our women are leading with their butt? They're leading with their butt. That's my question. You're leading with your butt, like your butt. What do we expect? What do we expect? What do we expect? And maybe Paradise, you can answer this. Sometimes I forget your name. I think you be doing great on these answers too. What do we expect from what we will invest in the society when our women don't lead with nothing that's based off of her role to a man, and regardless of helping raising a family and adding to his life? She's leading with her butt worldwide, and it's becoming worldwide. It's mostly in the West, but it's going east too. What are we getting from women when they leading with their butt?
Well, I think we forget that women's currency is their beauty. Like y'all tell us all the time, hey, we visual first. We like to see it first. I think that there's a huge issue. Hold on. I think that there's a huge issue when women are not actually understanding that the way that they're perpetuating the behavior is having a negative connotation, because subsequently it's making me and not even want to commit altogether. Like, it's one thing when you are just saying, well, I'm single and I'm out this one time and I'm, wearing this certain type of look at the club. But I'm seeing women in grocery stores dressed like this. And that's where it's kind of like it's getting too out of hand, because now when you got that trend, that's what the clothing stores market to and stuff like that. And then it's getting to the point where you walking around looking like you in a bathing suit 24/7. And it just shouldn't be that deep to me.
Here's the problem with this, right? You see how it was a whole gang of dudes around these women, like really hyping them up to do it. They're validating these women. They're telling them to do it, right? And it's us men. Sometimes we got to hold ourselves accountable too, because these women are leading with their butts on Instagram because we like it, right? Not me, but a lot of us like it. How many times you throw an eggplant in there? How many times you see all the smiley faces, the kisses, you see the simps galore. They on like a Super Saiyan level on there, like they simping hard. Under every comment, it's a bunch of dude right next to that name, and it's a bunch of likes. If we don't ignore this type of behavior, how do we expect them to get better?
Here's the actual problem. Hold on, y'all. This is the actual problem, especially when a woman is in a relationship. Women are choosing dopamine over oxytocin. Oxytocin is togetherness, is safety, is that feeling of love, and dopamine is more this, more that, more money, more attention, more whatever, right? So the easiest way you can tell what a woman like values, is she dopamine driven or is she oxytocin driven, is she an attention seeker. And one of the reasons why I almost only date women who wear their natural hair is because in most occasions, not every, but in most occasions, women wear out this bullshit on their head, just like Sweeney said, it's peacocking. They want to look better than other women so they can stay competitive.
I got this wig on. You can just ask me. You ain't got to talk about it. But
no, I'm not talking about that. When a woman does certain things, it's off of either attention to get attention or to get love. And you can easily tell what her actual way of thinking is by her approach. Does she want attention or does she want love? And when you see a woman that wants love, you can easily see that. If you see a woman that wants attention, you can easily see that too. And that's an easy way to see what a woman is thinking without even her talking.
So
Paradise, you can't go. Hold on, sweetie. Paradise, you can't be mad with him if y'all want real men. He want a woman to have a real head. You can't be mad at that.
I'm not mad at that. I just think that what he's saying isn't necessarily true. Like, I don't wear a wig. What though? I don't wear a wig because I'm looking for attention or I want love.
That's not what I'm saying. I said how. I mean, I'm not talking about like your style. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the little stupid shit where it's little baby hairs over here, and it looks like the woman is trying to look better than the next woman. You know, you just got your hair down. I'm talking about the peacocking of how a woman wears her hair, how she wears her outfit. It's not just the hair. That's just an example. But you can easily tell a woman that is out for attention, just like Precious, never out looking for attention. Lady Di, never out looking for attention. I don't see you a lot, Paris, so I don't know. But I would assume you ain't out for attention. So the thing about it is you can easily see a woman just from sitting back on Instagram or whatever it is they do, what they're out for, love, or are they out for attention? It's not just the hair, it's all of it.
So I wanted to respond to Trevor, and then I think men have always paid attention to half-naked women since the beginning of the time. That's always been a thing. Women have never had a problem taking off their clothes and getting the attention of men. The The problem is that, and again, it goes to what I said. The moment you are chosen, it's time to stop seeking attention. But then also, and the thing is, it hasn't changed. Instagram is just another form of the same thing we've always seen. The one that's naked in the streets is going to have a bunch of men around her liking her pic, liking the fact that she's naked in the streets. We see that men love to see naked women. It does not mean that we want to pick that naked woman off the streets and make them our wife. That doesn't mean that we want our wives to be naked women. That just means we like to see naked women. So if you go and you get a bunch of likes on Instagram, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get picked for that. So it depends on what you're seeking on. It depends. Go ahead, Trev.
All right. So let me ask you this real quick. Who wants better women, men or women?
Who wants better women?
Yeah, men or women.
Oh,
I would say men.
Women don't. Women
okay,
don't
great.
want
So
themselves to be better.
to do better? Who does it behoove to do better?
I think women want better women because women get upset when other women don't subscribe to the things that they subscribe to. Like, y'all tolerate us.
But the things that subscribe to be bad.
But the thing is, y'all tolerate us, but y'all don't have to. But women.
Wait. Do you agree that the things that they subscribe to be bad?
Women will get upset with you if you don't subscribe to things that they don't like. If I want to be with a man,
but don't it be bad though? It's the question.
Yes, good. I don't understand. Like, what?
It don't be good. He's asking, is it bad? It don't be good.
He doesn't want other women to be good if she wants a woman to subscribe to what she subscribed to, which is bad.
Upset regardless. It don't matter. Like, I can literally just not like how another woman does something, and that could be an issue. I think
But
women have more issue with women than men do.
That would go against.
But that would go against what Trev was asking as far as who wants better women.
Right.
And the answer would be
men to be better.
Good
men want women to be better.
Women get mad regardless. If I see another woman doing
which
something,
is a bad thing.
But what I'm saying is overall, you're saying who wants better women. The idea is that you think it's bad, but these other women don't necessarily think it's bad. But if you go against it in her head, you're not helping her to be a better woman.
But overall, we
know
agree
she's
bad.
She's
right.
She's
they
right.
want other women to be bad.
But that analogy,
all right. So the point is,
hold on, y'all. Let Lady Di go. Go ahead, Lady Di.
Paris, the analogy you just said is not just be okay. If a person doesn't think that they're an alcoholic, right? But they are an alcoholic. Now, all of a sudden, because they don't think it, that means that they're not an alcoholic. No, that's just obviously, we already know, you just said it. They're thinking this way, but doesn't mean that it can't be corrected and it's still not, it's still bad though. So that's all I want to say to that point.
I would say to answer Trev's question, because I think we're arguing this from two different perspectives. I think when Trev's asking that question, he's talking about in regards to relationships. Whereas the way that Paris is answering the question, she's looking at it as the sisterhood type deal. So I get what Paris is saying, but to remain within the context of the conversation, yes, Trev, men want women to be better because we want them to be better for relationships.
Right. And what I was saying is, well, then who does it behoove to get them better? Right. It's on us to actually make them better. It's more beneficial for us to make sure that they are better, right? So what I'm saying is, wait, hold up. What I was saying is we shouldn't reward bad behavior. We have to start ignoring women who don't act like the women that we want, right? So
I will say this,
leave the 304s out of it. Ignore them. Go ahead.
Let me say this though. There used to be a time where how we did not reward bad behaviors was that we didn't marry those women. Mm-hmm. The problem is the women no longer give a shit about being married anymore. So even if like because like I said, the thing is that men have always shown naked women out there attention. That was always a thing. What drove women to keep themselves chaz was getting the attention of getting a man to commit to them. Now it's being pushed on women that they no longer need the commitment. So we're trying to rewrite the code again and say, oh, well, we need to stop showing them attention to get them to act right. I honestly say, leave them hoes alone. Let them do them. And continue to stand on what we've been doing is we're not gonna marry your ass. We're not gonna commit to you. I don't care how many times I like your picture. I don't care how much dick I give you. I don't care how much you show your ass, and I may put a dime in your thing. You would never get a commitment from a man. That's how.
So you think that's responsible? You don't think that's going to further perpetuate the issue by giving 304s the attention and giving them your time, giving them your resources? Because you're going to have to give them all of that to be around them, and that's what they really care about. So you're only going to further perpetuate the problem. You messing it up for the people coming behind us.
But
it's different.
Y'all, we are having this conversation without ignoring the fact that shame culture is gone. You can't shame them. You can't fat shame, you can't gay shame, you can't slut shame. And back then, they used to not. The women would also engage in it as well too, and tell the woman, you being fast, sit your behind down.
Yeah.
But as a whole, they used to be shamed and disowned. If your daughter walked out there like that and was dressing like that, the father, your brothers is coming at you. All the men in society will come at you. But now you have a society. There's no more shaming, and the society is investing in it, because women are perpetuating as well too. So how are we going to get it back if you can't shame, Trev? If there's no other way a man can get back, if I can tell a woman, say, hey, you shouldn't dress like that, stop judging me. And then Sweetie care about their feelings. So if we care about their feelings and we can't judge them, how we gonna change them?
But I offer solutions. I offer solutions. I said to ignore them, stop rewarding the bad behavior. You can shame them too. You still can. You just got to do it in the right way. Because I do it all the time.
Every man who's
what I'm saying is ignore them.
That's going to
who's instructing them?
So a lot of times while we're sitting here thinking that, that these things are bad in order to get our end goal, you have to be able to show that person a negative. And this is where I'll go back to. I feel like women are more critical and want better women, because you do have women like me, Lady Di, Precious. They'll tell us we're judging them. They'll tell us we're the problem. They're telling us we're perpetuating hateful language, et cetera, et cetera. Y'all are not getting that, because more times often than not, they're only having those conversations with you when they're actually entertaining you and they want something from you. So overall, you're talking about us in relationships, but you can still get a woman to cooperate with you if you had resources to provide her and you was willing to extend them out. For us, there is no gain. There is no benefit. So I feel like women want better women. And let me be very clear. It's not nothing none of y'all say on this panel that go over my head. I don't never need nobody to break it down for me like I'm too.
Talk to him, Paris.
Talking to you, like
Trey. On that note,
drink your ice.
You want to know what happens if we ignore them?
Wow.
In all seriousness, you want to know what's gonna happen? They're just gonna take off more clothes.
Yep. So wait, so then you force then you're forced to pay attention?
Damn.
But at some point, somebody's gonna smash them if they take off more clothes. It's just guaranteed.
I'm gonna say this. But given the fact that 50% of the majority of these men out here are single and can't get no box, they ain't gonna never be a shortage of attention for them, because a lot of these dudes couldn't get with them.
Can't even get the woman.
But you know what?
I agree.
They still want the men that they want, right? So if the men that are in the top tier are not paying attention to those women, that's going to set the precedent. Regardless,
they aren't getting that attention.
The men at the bottom don't matter, and unfortunately, the bottom 80% don't matter to most women. We all know that. So
that's not true. That's not true, because the bottom 80% is 90,000 of that 100,000 likes. That's the bottom 80%, and they're the ones. They're also the ones that put the money on their. They also the ones that put the money on their.
Yeah, if they're going to spend that money, if they're going to spend that money, that's going to mess it up. But if they can't have them and they never really have access to them, right? You're talking about in a monetizing form, absolutely, that's different. But if you're talking about them never really having access to this men, including no sexual access to these top tier men, then
they know Trev.
If you honestly know what I think we should do, and this about to sound unorthodox like a motherfucker, because this is what's really gonna fuck women up.
It's about to be some simp shit.
Hold on, wait. Let them do it. I'm about to tell you why. Let them normalize it, because the moment they don't realize, the moment you normalize a woman being naked, we no longer give a shit.
That's not gonna happen. I can leave.
No, think about it. Think about how many women. Think about if I could see a woman naked in the street every single day. Why would I go and pay you to be naked?
Hold
I
on,
think we-
Sweeney. Wait, Sweeney. I don't know if you do or anybody does. Have you ever went to a strip club, done seen every stripper in there butt naked, and you leave out of strip club and you still looking at girls' titties, or like it never leaves us.
I was
But
gonna
no,
say,
what I'm saying is,
10 minutes later, you looking at another one who got all her clothes on. You like, damn, look at her.
And strippers have been making less and less money as time goes on.
But I'm saying it never leaves us. Is all
I know.
I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, all I'm saying is that if this is the way that they want to go, fine, have it. But you don't realize that by you trying to normalize something, you make men, you desensitize men to the very thing that you were able to do to make money off of. Because the reason why we used to pay so much money for porn and all of that was because there wasn't no regular access to naked women. If we start seeing women walk down the street naked all the time, then what the hell do I care about looking at your Instagram for? What the hell do I care about sending money to your OnlyFans for?
Well,
eventually you got to become
That
desensitized
ain't
to it.
never
I agree with
happen.
that.
So what's the point of bringing that up? I don't understand. The reason, look, I could just only speak for myself. Me in particular, even if I see a chick on Instagram with a fat ass twerking or whatever, I'm dead ass here. This might sound crazy. If she wears a wig, I don't even want to look at it because that to me is a part of the woman.
This nigga lying his ass off. He is lying his ass off. And I know he lied. I know he lied.
The beauty of a whole woman, her face and her ass. It's not just her. And if she wearing a wig, I'm not even going to
So
what I'm saying.
So Lego, you eat booty, but you won't eat the booty of a woman who got a wig on, but you'll eat booty.
Yes.
I don't believe
that. I won't. She got wig
y'all
on.
Trust that? He'll eat booty.
He draw the line at wig.
He draw the line at wig. He ain't even seen her head. He just seen her booty. Man, you lying, man. You come
Mr.
on.
Lego, so you wouldn't date a chick with fake hair in her head?
I'm not even going to be in a position to eat a booty.
You wouldn't date a chick with fake hair in her head?
Yeah, you would. Lego, tell the truth. Just tell the truth, man.
It'll be random if it happened.
So it's just random. So
So
now it went from I would never deal with to it'll be random.
It's
gonna lie.
Listen.
Look, I mean dating. Okay, if I see a chick,
you would never date a woman with hair that's not hers in her head.
Stop. Let me finish. If a chick want to do a one night stand, some shit like that, and she'll fine, whatever. But I'm not dating a wig wearer. I'm not. You seeing you and you wear wigs. I'm not doing it.
So you wouldn't date a woman who wears fake hair?
He said he would.
Unless it's a one night stand.
I told he would.
The only way you would do it is if it's a one night stand.
Okay, I'll say it again. If I meet you at a show and you see me, you whatever, and you like, what's up? I'm gonna take you down, but I'm not calling you no more.
I don't care.
I'm not gonna just keep talking to you. So I smash, but I ain't calling you no more.
The problem is just like
I'm not into you, and I'm not lying because I say all the time.
Oh, really?
Do it. So if you want to give me some ass, you wear a wig. That's on you. You know I ain't gonna call you back no more because I talk about it all the time. So I ain't lying to you.
Let me get to
if you want to give me some ass, go for it. But I ain't calling you back.
Let me get to the super chat so we get to the meat. Pause. Diamond Rose 499 says, Paris, I'm not here to pick on you. I said it before. You're beautiful and you're speaking good. Excellent. Z Jackson MED 199 says individualism can be expressed without being naked. I ain't going nowhere. $2 says ladies mimic Lady Di in Paris and you will get wifed. Insane you one $2 says when did Mr. Let Go turn into Mr. Poindexter? Winter Summer says women are approached for sex no matter what they wear. Jeans and a t-shirt steal your show shape and men fill the rest with imagination. Marcus Evans says bring shame back with $2. Insane one $5 says it'll be over if they perfect male because the problem will resolve itself as they will lose their remaining value when they stop being able to breed. JJ Carr 499 says, does a wig make the booty taste different? What does wig booty and natural hair booty taste like? So many questions.
Natural hair booty tastes so much better, but I don't know what the booty of a wig wearer tastes, so I don't know.
Hey,
insane.
The booty of a natural hair woman tastes like steak.
Contracts E. coli at least twice a year.
Okay. Mr. Lego, real quick.
His mouth burning.
What up?
Now this ain't no. Would you date someone like Lady Di?
If she's natural hair, yeah.
Just what you see right now. Would
I'm
you
not
date?
gonna say that because she's married, so I'm gonna add a asterisk because she's married. I don't want to just say.
But would you, looking at her, you would say you would date her, right?
I date women who wear their natural hair. I'm not gonna say I would date Lady Di. I'm not doing it.
Those are Singley's twist. Do you know what those are?
That's natural hair. It's
no,
braids.
it's not.
It's braids. Stop.
No, it's not. Do you know how they get the hair that long? Because they add weave into it.
Stop. I said
they add weave into
wearer.
It.
Is it a
only
wig, sir?
I said fake
wig?
hair. You said not fake hair either.
Wig wearer. You don't listen.
So it changes when they just get box braids. You would change your mind with box braids or faux locks.
Yeah, anything that we grew up watching, there's nothing wrong with braids, stuff like
God.
that. That's
you know what? I do know. Hey, I do know.
Do you understand English? I said wig wearer. I did
you
not
said fake hair.
Extensions.
Well, look, at least we all know why.
You would date a woman who got a sew-in or tape-ins?
What is that? A tape or what?
It's called extensions. Those are extensions.
You talking about like what? You said a what?
Would you date a woman with a sew-in?
Extensions. What she's saying? Would you date a lady with extensions?
Yeah. I said wig. Keyword wig. She's wearing a wig or that stupid putting glue on your forehead, all that dumb shit. I'm not messing with no woman who's put glue on her goddamn forehead. Shit is crazy.
At least we know now why Mr. Letgo got a struggle beard. He was eating booty instead of eating coochie.
I eat everything down there.
He was eating booty instead of coochie. That's right.
I eat everything down there.
He's looking at the coochie. I don't want that. Turn around.
Hey, whichever comes first. Is she laying on our summit?
Hey, shout out to the chat for calling out that bullshit. Shout out to the chat. That was some bullshit if I ain't never heard it.
Yeah, we had somebody.
Wig wearer.
The real pressures with the red hand emojis. Let's go ahead and get to the meat of the conversation, and we know the ladies like the meat.
Ow.
With that being said, here's the meat of the conversation, which is this true about the difference between forgiveness and access? Is this true about the difference between forgiveness and access? I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip.
Forgiveness actually can be instantaneous. I think the problem often is that we keep making forgiveness a part of the conversation with access. Like, I can immediately say, I accept what happened for what it is. You violated, this is how I feel, and never talk to you again. I can make that decision and be mad the next day. I can make that decision and still be pressed for the next 3 months. The work that I have to do to be healthy after being transgressed has nothing to do with my ability to forgive the person. Like, I can forgive you immediately and still have a lifetime of work to do because that's how trauma works. Like, the healing doesn't come before forgiveness. Forgiveness is a decision to move forward despite whatever circumstance around you. You feel me? So when we had a conversation like, oh, how long? You talking about how long should I wait until I can be around this again? How long should I wait to feel safe around this person? That has nothing to do with forgiveness. Bro, if you have to start asking yourself how long should I wait to be around, you shouldn't. That ain't got nothing to do with forgiving nobody.
Hop into it. Is this true about the difference between forgiveness and access? Go ahead, Sweeney.
You always throw me out there first, but I actually I agree with him. I think a lot of people do tend to attach forgiveness with having access to you, and the reality is, yes, I can forgive you from afar, and that don't mean I have to necessarily continue to deal with you at this moment, because then that means that I would have my own things that I need to go. You know what I mean? I have to, you know what I mean, work through before I actually have to deal with you at that level. Because just because I forgive you doesn't mean I have to trust you with my time. Doesn't mean I have to trust you with my presence anymore. Doesn't mean I have to trust you around, you know what I mean, around in my space. So yeah, I'm in agreement with him.
All right. Go ahead, Trev.
I'm kind of torn on this one. Because from what I understand, forgiveness is on the lines of that. So can you truly forgive someone if you feel like you can no longer have access? What's stopping you from giving that access? Have you truly forgiven them? Because from what I understand with forgiveness is, and it doesn't mean that you don't be anybody's, that you're going to be somebody's fool. If that's to happen again, then, you know, that's a whole nother story. But if somebody did do you wrong, then why do you feel like you need time if you've truly forgiven them? That, from what I understand, forgiveness means that you really let it go and you're just going to move on from whatever that transgression was. You truly forgiven them, I think you would probably have to give them complete access.
Can I go to after Trev?
What?
Nah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Trev, I think if you truly forgiven someone and everything they've done up to that point was a great quality person, I think that can make sense to give access to that person. But if you were dealing with someone that was already suspect and you already knew you were dealing with someone that showed a lower quality person and different characteristics of a person who's going to continue to have a failed relationship, I think forgiving them is making peace with the whole situation completely and allowing the person to go out of your life as well too. So it is not detrimental no longer to you, and it's not detrimental no longer to them. You give yourself space to be able to move away from that as well too, and possibly even go back to them or move on to a new person. But at least you let that person be able to work on themselves in case that person isn't capable of giving you what you need. I think sometimes not giving access allows someone to work on themselves if a relationship can be sustained. Because a lot of times, if you truly love and forgive, there's some work that someone have to do with themselves before you can even continue to do an access relationship.
All right, go ahead, Precious.
So is this true about the difference between
You had all that time and you up here talking about some
I could go.
No,
I think for forgiveness is not necessarily for the person who committed the transgression. Forgiveness is for the person it was committed to. So if I forgive you, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to give you access. I also think it depends on what kind of relationship you're into. Because everybody don't deserve access. So I will go with it. It depends on the relationship because some people don't deserve access back into your life, but you can forgive them. You can, move on. You can go on with your life. You can wish them well. But I don't think that they need to necessarily hold a space in your life all the time. But if it comes to a relationship like a marriage, then I believe in forgiving and forgetting because I don't believe in divorce. So we gonna forgive, and we gonna forget. But as far as relationships outside of that, I don't think I think that you can forgive somebody, and I don't think that you have to give them access. I think that that's just a nice gesture, and I think that if you decide to, that's okay. But yeah, I think it's a relationship based situational.
So
All right,
I want to.
go ahead, Sweeney. Then we get the lady down.
I was gonna say I wanted to add some context, right? So to forgive is to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flow, or mistake. So I'm gonna push this back on Trev. So say for instance, you gave somebody access to your car, right? And they stole it. And let's assume for the sake of argument, you forgave them. You're no longer angry at them, you're no longer resentful to them. Would you give them your car again?
You want to answer the question?
Nah, not in that circumstance. No.
So basically, that's the example of to forgive but not give access to. You can forgive them and say, "Hey, look, I'm no longer mad at you for what you did, but that don't mean you're gonna be able to still drive my car." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now let's go to what Precious was saying, right? So
Okay.
let's say it was cheating or something because it's circumstantial, like she was saying. So there are some people who could just forgive, and then that's it. That you have access to everything that you did before.
Yeah, that is true.
But that's in a relationship. You already have access to the person. You just like, the way I see access is y'all are apart. True. And they hitting you back up, or they trying to come back into your life, and you're like, no, I forgive you for what you did, but there's no reason for us to talk or be around each other. Like I had a homeboy that stole from me a long time ago. I'm still cool with him. We can go out to a bar and just whatever, but we're not gonna hang out together. We can, chop it up every now and then, but that's an access thing. Like you can't come back into my life, so no, it's a big difference because your time and your resources are totally different. So forgiving somebody is really resources, because at the end of the day, like your emotions is a part of your resources. And when you love somebody, care about somebody, trust somebody, like you trust somebody with your resources, with with your heart, with money or whatever. So when you give them access to you again, now they have your resources again, possibly, and they can turn around and steal or hurt you again. So at the end of the day, that is the most important thing. And then at the same time is your time. Being around somebody that treated you like crap, you're wasting time.
I guess that would be the difference.
Hold on, y'all. We gotta get Lady Di now. Go ahead, Lady Di.
You can forgive somebody from a distance and save your resources and save your time, and at the same time forgive them. Why does that person got to stay in your life or come back in your life?
So I think that true forgiveness, in my opinion, is if the person that did you wrong had changed, like say they did you wrong a year ago, now they're a new person, they're different. I think that you can truly forgive someone when they are a better person. But when you saying that you're forgiving someone, after they did you wrong, you're like, oh, I forgive you. I don't think people are truly forgiving others. I think they're just accepting that they did something wrong. And then now the person wants to move on in their life. So they're like, okay, I'm going to accept what they did. I'm going to say that, this is what they're going to do. This is who they are. But I'm going to move on and make sure that it doesn't hinder my thoughts and my process in life. I don't think that someone's truly forgiven that person. It's just accepting who they are. But giving access to somebody after they did you wrong, I would say that's a form of forgiveness. Because why would you give them access to something that you was betrayed on? You wouldn't do that. That means that you fully forgive them.
So forgiving has to be giving somebody access, is what you're saying?
Yeah, because if you were so hurt, why the hell are you doing it again? Giving them access to do something over and over again. That means.
But why can't you forgive the person and not give them access and be happy?
Because so if a person doesn't change and they have the capability to do it again, that means that you're forgiving them for their actions. And
forgiveness is about you and not the other person. So as long as you're at peace with being at peace with what went on, giving them access makes the forgiveness about them.
But if they did it again, then how are you going to feel?
I'm not giving them access for them to do it again. I'm just going to forgive them from afar.
If you're hanging out with them, that's giving access for them to do some stupid shit again. That's how
I can forgive you and never see you again and be at peace with it, because forgiveness is for me, not for them. So I don't have to give you access to forgive you. I'm not going to talk to you no more and still forgive you, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you don't talk to them no more, then I don't think that you're truly forgiving them. You're just accepting them and saying, hey, I don't want you in my life. You can't forgive somebody if they ain't never changed. What are you forgiving? Because if
I'm forgiving the action and learning from what happened by keeping that person away. So you don't think you can forgive somebody without having that person in your life? That's nuts. That's crazy.
I don't think you're forgiving people that do.
Hold on, Sweeney. Let me get Paradise in there. Then we go to you, Sweeney. Go ahead, Paradise.
Yeah, Sweeney, you talk too much.
Okay.
Every relationship takes two people to participate in, and if it ends, it only takes one person to agree to end it. I don't need your permission to end this relationship. I do need your permission to participate in having the relationship be successful. So if you do something that that goes against my boundaries and I don't like what you did and I chose to stop the relationship, you can't weaponize my forgiveness by you also still being a part of my life because you want to have access to me. And it's like, I think that's where people forget they lack control. You don't get to choose if people want to walk away from you. And really, it's just a cause and effect thing, right? Like, I can forgive you. I can understand that I don't want to hurt you back. I can understand that I don't want to minimize you or go on a slander campaign of your character. But I also don't have to allow this relationship to continue because at some point I can have my breaking point, and you're not the determination of my breaking point, especially if you were the person who did whatever it is that allowed me to end the relationship. So I do think that we have to understand that forgiving somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you want to continue a relationship with them. I can forgive you. I can understand that our chapter is closed and we are going to go on with life. And I can also wish you well without trying to give any type of revenge or vendetta against you.
And can I add to that, to what she said? I think we're still putting it on, looking at one side as well too, instead of both sides. If someone does forgive you, I believe in you being the person, the receiver of the person having a remorse, and someone forgiving you, you have to give them permission to do what they choose to please. If you truly are sorry as a person too, and then you are apologizing. So if I'm apologizing to someone I love and they're forgiving me, I have to accept what direction they want to go from that point on. If I truly am apologetic for what I've done as well too, especially if the person's giving me that forgiveness. So there's the possibility of guilt living in my life for the rest of my life. That the fact this person no longer talks to me or ignores me without any response whatsoever, and I hurt this person. But if the person even gives you the grace of saying, you know what, we spoke about it and I forgive you, then you should accept the fact that this person has to determine which way they're going now, but at least they gave you that grace for you to be able to live with the fact of what you did, but they still forgave you for that action as well.
Right, because forgiveness is mine. And also me staying in a relationship is my choice. I choose who I want in my life. And if I make the choice to say, you know what, this ain't working for me for whatever reason, and it could be that was just the last straw. It could have been a straw that broke the camel's back. To orchestrate how another person responds to disrespect is kind of selfish. It's very narcissistic. You can't tell me, oh, well, since you forgive me, you got to let me in your life. That ain't how that works.
I think where we had the loss in translation is kind of how I positioned it to Trev was a very black and white situation, right? And I think it was very easy to separate forgiveness from with access when you're talking about it within the context that I gave them. But I'm noticing that the context that y'all are referring to is within relationships, right? And the reason why it's always synonymous with one another is because when you forgive somebody within a relationship, they still are like it's done within the context they already have access to you, not that you removed access, right? So it's not the situation where you break up with them, you leave them, you go about your business, and then one day you say, I can forgive that person for what they did. It's normally a situation where if say for instance, a woman gets cheated on, right? And they have their conversations, they go to counseling and things like that, and she forgives him. He still has access to her during that entire period of time. That's why we tend to kind of like have this problem with understanding how to separate forgiveness from access. And even when we were talking about it in the sense of what Ali was talking about, like for instance, a friend. If that person is still your friend, even when they did something to you, they still have access to you friendship wise. And that's why it's kind of difficult to remove access to that person, even if you don't forgive them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what Lady Di was saying, if sometimes people you can still have access to the person even if you forgive them, right? But it's about if that behavior actually changed. So people could be like, hey, I accept you, I forgive you, and it's the notion that it's changed behavior. But most of the time when people completely leave, it might have been a mistake, it might have been an accident, and now it's something they're going to sustain from now on. It's who they are. People change or people go different directions. But when you forgive and you want to give someone access, you no longer can give them access because their behavior hasn't changed. So true love, I would say, is what Trev said before. Like, you forgive, I give you access. But I think most of the times when people don't give access anymore, It's that person has changed and they're moving in a different direction, and they want to keep from continuously being hurt. So if someone isn't change behavior is the greatest form of being apologetic. We would all agree, correct? Is change behavior. But you know, if that person hasn't changed their behavior, I forgive you, but I know your behavior isn't going to change, and it hasn't changed. And everything you've done thus far, even in your apology, your behavior isn't changing. So I do believe true.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I do believe true unconditional love, and what Trev was saying, like it's a funny line. When you truly love someone, you know, yeah, you should stick it through anything, better or worse, till death do us part. But if this person is doing something so detrimental to their life and your life, then there has to be a time where you go, you listen, I love you, I forgive you, but whatever way you're moving in your course of life now, it's detrimental to my life and what I'm doing. But I love you, and I have to love you from afar and let you be who you being.
But I think when we talk about this, we always try to emphasize like intimate partnerships or, you know, something to that nature. It could be a parent and a child. And if after a certain period of time, my parent is constantly, you know, behaving this way and they start to reorchestrate how they're behaving towards me, even in my adulthood, I can make that conscious decision and say, you know what, I love you. I forgive you for the hurt that you imposed upon me, but I don't want to have this relationship anymore. And I think a lot of times it comes at the basis of making the person who has the power of forgiveness feel guilty. And I don't respect it. Like, you can't go and damage a person and be disloyal to them or betray them and hurt them, and then you want to orchestrate how they're responding to you, or even if they give you forgiveness, because at the end of the day, it is their choice, regardless if you change your behavior or not. You don't have to accept the forgiveness. You don't have to do what you did in the first place. So essentially, they're just simply responding to you. And because they have the greatest burden of continuing the relationship, they get more of the flack. You should not be sitting here looking at me, asking me like why you didn't forgive me or why you cutting me off. You need to sit there and reassess why you even did what you did in the first place.
And just real quick, real fast, I'm sure it's where a good person that loves somebody wants to remove themselves from that person's life typically too if they did do them wrong. They are more happy with the fact that you forgave them and gave them that I hurt you and you forgave me, and I'm going to remove, like a real love. If I did something that hurt someone and was detrimental to someone, if I truly love them and respect them, I should remove myself from their life for some time being and get myself together until I even expect for them to give me access. I think that's a true a person that shows true character of somebody.
But parents will be the first ones to make you feel guilty for making that conscious decision for yourself. And so sometimes that confuses children who, you know, turn into adults. When it comes to relationships, they don't know the difference between forgiveness and access, because it's like, oh, well, you know, I need to forgive you and I still need to be in your life. And I think parents actually condition their children that way. They'll say something, they'll abuse, or they'll, you know, talk in a harsh way. And because they're the parent, the older person, the bigger person, you're supposed to look up to them, listen to them. As you get older, they continue to use that manipulation against you. And when, you know, you get into your relationships, I mean, we really learn relationship skills from our parents. So you get that enough, you won't know the difference between forgiveness and access. You think you got to be in everybody's face. You think you have to be in everybody's life. You think you have to be at the party, when you have to know true forgiveness for yourself. And that means sometimes you do have to take away that access and not feel bad about it, and know that that's a good move for you. And it may not be a good move for them. And it may not even make you feel good for making that good move in your life. But at the same time, you have to set boundaries with people.
Yep. Perfectly said.
All right.
So
go ahead.
Are we all in agreement that forgiveness don't necessarily mean that they have access?
Yes.
All right.
That's all for anyone.
Yeah, not necessarily.
That's
so with all that being said, what is the solutions we provide to people? Because they always say they want a solution. What's the solution? All these questions we done asked today. What's the solution for each and every one of them?
people are in this world. Everybody's not made to have good intentions. So understand whoever you meet, don't expect them to be good to you. And when things happen, just kind of accept it for what it is. Don't let them do it again, because then you're giving them access to destroy you mentally when you need to have your mental space intact.
I don't believe in controlling people. I let people be authentically themselves to show me who they are. It's up to me if I choose to accept it or not. And then it's also up to me to remain true to my character. Your testament of how you behave towards me does not dictate how I respond. So, with that being said, I mean, I'm true to myself regardless, despite what comes up, whatever flaws, whatever adversity. I think more people should try to take to that. I think Mr. Lego be trying to say that. He just don't say it the right way.
Go ahead, Shreya.
Yeah, I really think it is a little bit different with the children aspect of it, because you are forced to give them access to a certain point in their lives, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you kind of have to forgive them, and well, you don't have to forgive them, but you have to give them access. And in most cases, if your child do you wrong, you are going to forgive them. A lot of times, children will steal from their parents, you know, a whole lot of things that really hurt them, and you're kind of forced to continue to give them access. I mean, you can cut certain things off. Let's say, you know, they took from you. What are you going to do? Kick them out the house? Or are you going to continue to give them access to where they live?
Yeah, it's a totally different dynamic when you're talking about parents. The parent child relationship as a whole is a different kind of monster, because as Trev said, you still have to give them access. Even children, you still have to give your parents access. Like, a lot of the times you have no choice because you need them.
This is true, but this is also where you learn boundaries too. I mean, there comes a point in time where sometimes kids have to relearn things because of the way that they were brought up. Now, of course, the access has to be there. You have to have access to your parents in order to learn, be cared for, things like that. But when you become a certain age, sometimes that access is not always healthy access. You know, whether it's your parents, whether it's a grandparent or an aunt or uncle, sometimes that access is not always the best access, just because their family shouldn't mean that they just get automatic access in your life without boundaries. And that goes with any and everybody. Just because you have some type of title in my life don't mean that you have all access pass to me, especially if you're disrespectful, especially if you really don't mean me any well. Like, again, we're talking about forgiveness and access. So there are things that parents can do that's like, all right, I'm gonna forgive you because I love you and because you my mom or my dad, but I'm gonna need my space. I'm gonna need time. So when you call me, don't expect me to answer the phone. When you text me, don't expect me, because I'm taking my time to process, and I'm taking my time where at this point in time you don't have access to me, and you have to be okay with that. And it's not a control thing. It's as people and adults, we have to teach people how to treat us. If we don't do that, they're going to do whatever they want. And a title in your life shouldn't give you an all access pass to do whatever you want and say whatever you want and act however you want, because it doesn't give me that pass, right? You talk about a parent child. I'm the child. Do I have an all access pass to just have a temper tantrum and to talk to you however I want and to disrespect you? No, because then you are going to cut off access. It may not be total full access from my life, but you probably going to stop doing something. You might not answer the phone when I need help or whatever. Parents do that.
I agree to most of that, except the part where you have to teach people how to treat you. I don't think you have to teach people a damn thing. I think that you could switch it up. And when it comes to how you know yourself, right? Everybody doesn't know you except you. You know what triggers you. People are not going to look at you and be like, yeah, that triggers her, right? So you have to know, okay, well, if this person, I know this person is good for pissing me off at this particular time, when we're at this particular event, or whatever it is that you're doing, you know it's going to happen because that person is that person and they're going to do what they want to do. You make sure you're not around them during that specific time. You hang with the person based off of what you like good from them. So if you like something good from them, only do that good stuff with them. Don't ever put yourself in a space where they're going to piss you off because you're in a space where they can piss you off. You have to make sure that everybody you know, right, is good for a certain thing. So if you want to, I'm just using an example, you want to shop with somebody, you know this person's good for shopping, but I can't take her to my family's house. I'm talking about friendship. I can't take her to my family's house because she's mad disrespectful. She's going to do things out of line. So now you don't ever go with your friend to the family's house. You just go with her shopping. So that's controlling your environment. I don't think you have to teach them. People are going to be who they are. I don't think you could always change a person. You could suggest a change, right? We talked about this before. But some people just don't get it. They're going to keep messing up, pissing you off, doing all these things
look,
you can't control.
So look, Lady Di, I have an aunt, right? And my aunt likes to raise her voice at everybody. The children, the kid, the adults, her friends, everybody. And I don't know if it's a frustration of hers. I don't know if maybe she doesn't know how to communicate in a healthy way. She yelling at everybody. I had to teach her, you can't yell at me like that. No. Whether I come around, whether I had to teach her that, because nobody said, hey, look, you're not going to yell at me like that. So sometimes you have to teach people, and a lot of people don't like to be in uncomfortable situations with other people. A lot of people are not confrontational. And it doesn't mean you have to be confrontational in a bad way, but sometimes you do have to teach, because they're going to keep on doing it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, okay.
But when I come around, she's not yelling at me. Because I'm not going to allow it. What you allow will continue. And a lot of people will allow that in their life. They will allow someone to raise their voice because that's how they are. But when we're communicating, or when you're generally communicating and I'm in the room, you're not going to do that. So I had to teach her that. Should she already know that? Yes. As an adult, as an aunt, someone who's older than me, yes. But at the end
but
of
the people
day,
around her probably tolerated it.
Exactly. Her friends, the family. And it's like somebody has to say something, because you don't want to be the person that's causing the ruckus, but sometimes the behavior has to stop somewhere. It has to stop. And sometimes people need to see themselves. And nobody want to be the one. Nobody want to be the one to be like, oh no, you need to stop doing. But somebody has to do it. And I know a lot of people like the kumbaya, but if you're gonna have relationships with people, and especially with family, yes, you can cut off access, but there's other people in this family other than you. So yeah, I could come around and not talk to you, but we're adults here. So if we're gonna be adults, let's be adults who can communicate in a healthy way.
But I think it just really depends on how you respond. Like, I understand you're telling your aunt, don't yell at me. All right. I don't believe in telling adults not to do something so silly. She already know not to yell. So how you respond to when she's yelling, she should know how you respond to her, not to mess with Precious no more, because when I did this, I ain't like the way that vibe she was giving me. I ain't like how she responded and what she said to me. Then they start moving and changing on how you are acting. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you have to just like tell somebody, because some people just ain't gonna change when you just saying it.
I do think it's a fine line, because when you are cultivating relationships, for instance, like I come from a real Southern family, so every word of phobic and toxic you can think of, you can apply it to my family. And what I have learned is a lot of times people are not with you when you are growing and evolving, and they're used to treating you how they know you. So they're used to seeing you that way. Like, you ever heard the older adults go, I don't care how grown you get, you still a little girl in my eyes. They mean that. Like, they're actually meaning that. They're actually seeing you as a child. And it takes for you to tell a person like, hey, listen, you can't pick and choose when I'm an adult and when you want me to be a kid. you're going to treat me like an adult at all times because I'm always having to accept the role and responsibility of an adult now. So I definitely think you do have to teach people how to treat you, because a lot of times it goes into enablement. The respect that we give people isn't constitutional about who, they think we are. It's because of who I think you are. I give you respect based off of how I feel about you. But the way you respond to me, if I don't feel like it's respectful, it is my autonomy and it is my boundary to correct it, because I have to teach you how to treat me.
I think there's no community. Realistically, I think the things we're speaking on this panel is borderline almost extinct. I don't think, I know the value of humanity and human beings is no longer the priority in life. I'm about to sound like a National Geographic person though, but I was watching like the animal, I love watching animal TV, right?
What?
Y'all know,
That's good TV though. That's good. That's good TV.
Y'all know about 90% of marine life is going to be completely extinct by 2100. We are not prioritizing humanity. We're not prioritizing the earth. We're not prioritizing our responsibility to each other. We're prioritizing. It takes a village to raise children. Many hands makes light work. Your role, your rent on earth, by Muhammad Ali saying, is serving other people. And one great quote I like is this: if you go into someone's space, if you can't love them or invest in them, at least don't hurt them. We have to take more pride and more responsibility in how we treat each other and how we care with each other heart, each other mind, spirit, and energy. If you can't bring something good to somebody, leave that person alone and vice versa. But I think we're downplaying how bad society is in general, and the impact of human beings, not only on ourselves and how we destroying humanity, men and women's relationships, and our relationships, even the earth and other species. Because what's funny is we'll come on a panel, have these conversations, but you see in real life, if you commenting or discussing on somebody else, don't nobody want you to tell you how to tell them about their kids. They don't want you to correct their children. Nobody wants correction. Nobody takes full responsibility as a collective when something goes wrong. Nobody wants to be judged. But when we on the panels, we'll say, hey, raise your kids like this. Raise them to be this way. But in reality, nobody wants anybody to tell them what to do. So until we as a whole are investing back into humanity collectively and being responsible with each other, and we investing in each other's survival, none of this matters if it's only on an individual base where some of us are telling people to do the right thing and the rest of the world is doing the wrong thing.
I was about to say, you can tell from Young Miami's situation, right? She just less than 6 months ago, she was talking about how she didn't want her daughter to be a city girl, right? And then next thing you know, her son's at Rolling Loud concert throwing money on a stripper. And the moment somebody had to come and try to come in and check her on and say, hey, look,
don't judge me.
It's all of a sudden now she doesn't want to be told anything about her kid. And also to kind of Precious point, I think different people have different boundaries, right? Because me as a parent, there's a certain level of boundaries I'm allowed to cross when it comes to my kid that she may not let her friends cross. She may not let other people cross. My kids may not let other people cross. You may not let somebody else go through your phone, but ain't no way in hell you're going to be able to tell me I can't. You may not be able to let somebody even speak to you in a certain kind of way, but you can't tell me I can't, because I'm the one that's responsible for you. And even when you're an adult, you come to me, you still come to me like a child when it's a time of need. So that means I get to give you parent advice. You may not like it, because I think what happens, and it's kind of to Ali's point, what happens a lot of times is that a lot of us are weak. We see a lot of things as boundary crossing or negative that wasn't necessarily negative 40, 50 years ago. It was actually sound advice 40, 50 years ago, but now we're seeing it as disrespect now, because a lot of people want to be able to do what they want to do. And anytime somebody tries to come in and check them on it, that's when they're like, oh, no, you're crossing my boundaries. Oh, no, you're being disrespectful. No, they're trying to teach you something. They're trying to learn you something. And just like I guarantee you, Young Miami probably saw what that dude did as disrespect when he tried to approach and say, hey, this is what you're going to do with your son on TV? Live, this is what we're doing? She saw it as disrespect. Because who going to tell me what to do with my kid? When in reality, they're trying to show you something, because what's going to happen is you're going to raise that kid to be a certain kind of way. And then when he get out into the world and he wind up getting his head knocked in by the police because you taught him to be that way, then you're going to want the world, then you're going to want all of us to rally around your son when it's too late. So I think a lot of us are weak. We this is the era that I've seen the most of us talk about the boundaries our parents cross. Oh my God, you don't want to cross your child's boundaries. They're like, no, fuck it. You ain't got no damn boundaries because you can't take care of your damn self.
So
everything you do on this planet,
their feelings don't matter.
Hell no, they don't matter.
I just remember that.
You can't get into that with the children, man. You gotta do what's right. You never forget what they feel, man, because they don't know what they talking about.
I'm gonna say this, Ali. At least here's the difference right here.
Responsibility
I know
is the most critical thing in society. Feelings don't matter.
I know where you're going with this.
That's okay. It's okay.
No, I know where you're going.
Let's start now. Let's all start.
Here's the thing.
The
difference between my kids and that he gonna jump on. The difference between my kids and that woman is I can walk away from that woman. You on your own once that, but I can't walk away from my kid and let them go out into the world and keep doing whatever the hell they want to do because it's always gonna fall back on me. My kid is truant in class, they're gonna come and lock me up. Some woman out there or some chick I was dealing with, she go out there acting a fool. I can walk away from my ass, and she the only one that got to stand out there and look like a fool. I'm not responsible for that shit, but my kids, I'm responsible. They gonna lock me up if you do something stupid. They gonna. How many? Like so? Yeah, no, my kids ain't. They feelings don't count in the situation. I don't give a damn.
All right, let me go get to these.
You kind of got to be like that.
With these super chat real quick. JJ Carr 499 says, "What if she was bald and she drew a fade on her scalp?"
Talking about Mr. Let Go. That dude is such a hypocrite, bro.
Alex says, "Mr. No Wigs, 1 cup. I hope you check down for tapeworms." Andrew Dale $5 says, "True forgiveness is when you can be around that person and not feel some kind of way. So giving access is a way of seeing if you really did and then go." All right, y'all. Way to get up. I know it's that time. I'm starting to get them looks on the faces.
That look. I like that last comment.
Yeah. Make sure y'all follow everybody on the platform, man. Everybody at YouTube channels and the people that has dropped off. Y'all make sure y'all scroll back, catch the replay, and check everybody else because they are talking some good things on the individual platforms as well. I want to thank everybody for their perspectives today. Salute to the chat, salute to the viewers. Thank everybody that has contributed and donated to the platform today. Much love. And it's a great show, y'all. It was positive.
Salute to all of y'all. And I like to say, everybody that's on the panel right now, I respect you tremendously. A lot of everyone's platform, the things y'all pushing, the things you saying, regardless if we disagree with certain things, everybody on here are phenomenal people. I have a great deal of respect for the intent you have and how intentional a lot of you are. So I just want to make sure that we know, no matter what, if we disagree on certain things, I know for the most point, all of y'all are very extremely intentional. I have great respect for everybody that's on the panel.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really be feeling away. You know what I mean? I think we all get it, man. Like that's just what it is. But this is when you exchange ideas, man, this is how you get we all learn from each other, right? Mm-hmm. We have to listen to other perspectives.
Sure,
so if you that's the best way to learn is to actually listen to other sound minds, man. That's it. You have to talk to each other and get different perspectives. So if anybody come out of this and they feels, man, shame on them. But I don't think anybody that we seen on here is doing that. So
the only time I'm in my feels is when people come up here and talk about how we ain't offering no solutions. If you read between the lines, the solutions are there. We telling you the solutions. You don't like the solutions. That's the problem.
But what's the main solution is two people who just don't quit, man. You fight every day in and out, and you don't. What else is to say? It's two people. Ain't got nothing to do with one person. It's two people that never quit, man. They strive to invest in a relationship and do everything in their power to invest in each other, and they never quit. They work on ways to love each other every single day. That's the greatest advice you can give.
Absolutely. That's a good
I got an answer real quick.
Go ahead, sir.
Real quick answer.
No, for real. Out of here.
Listen. No, not even look. No. This real quick.
Everybody told me that.
A lot of people always say communication, and that's true. But you have to find out how to communicate with that individual. Mm-hmm. Find out what is your language, what brings us together so we can communicate. Is it through talking? Is it through text? Is it through writing letters? What kind of state of mind do I need to be in? What kind of atmosphere do I need to be in? Be prepared to listen, and be prepared to be honest.
And
That's all I got.
always talk in person. Don't do that emailing and texting 3,000 paragraphs. No.
Well, time out. I don't want to drag this out all night, but some people don't let you finish. I mean, we experience that sometimes where sometimes you might have to text certain people just so you could get a thought out. You know what I'm saying? They're forced to read the paragraph because they're going to be too curious. But a lot of times, some people will interrupt you so bad, they just won't shut up, and you're not going to get anything out. And they'll combat your answer with their answer for your answer. And I'm like, what the? Yeah, sometimes you got to text people. Sometimes you got to write them a letter.
You do have to get to a point, because are you going to do that for 40 years?
Right.
Exactly.
No, you can't. You can't. You can't. You want.
Do they want to hear it? Do they want to hear it?
Well, listen. Sometimes you need to communicate when you're mad, right?
No.
Sometimes you need. Yeah. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do. What you gonna wait? You gonna just wait and wait and wait and wait?
But sometimes you have to elevate that. You have to elevate that from not. Okay, so you go from texting to
and
then
you progress it.
putting
It's
it in your memo and then having that conversation face to face. You know what I mean?
Sure, it's a progression.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a progression. My bad. That's it. That's all I got, man. I ain't gonna hoop all night.
I think Trev was speaking from the perspective of, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you might want to have that conversation. Most of the time, your conversation is gonna be face to face. You don't want to text your wife talking about I got some shit I need to say to you.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, over time though, the reality is like even when you're being cut off and stuff, because I can even say it on this, even if we're just talking about this panel, right? Over time, I've noticed that people have become way more apologetic when cutting people off, way more understanding. You know what I mean? Because even like when me and Ali was going back and forth, all right, my bad, go ahead. You know what I mean? It's less. You know what I mean? It's less fight to get somebody to be like, all right, chill. And I think that happens in relationships too, because I think naturally we have a natural urge to stop somebody from speaking because they may have said something you disagree with. It's only natural. I think the thing that we need to respect is the moment somebody says, hey, bro, let me get my thought out. Let me get my thought out. And then you can respond. Then you can have a full-blown conversation, because now at that point it sets the ball in your court. They'll be like, all right, go ahead and finish what you got to say. And then that way I can respond. And I've noticed just over time that all of us have gotten better at that. We do it from time to time, but I think all of us have gotten better with not cutting, you know what I mean? Even when we cut each other off, eventually the person who we cut off gets to flesh out their idea and we have a full-blown conversation. I think a lot of us can carry that into our relationships. And I'm sure a lot of us feel that way, where you don't feel heard because your partner is trying to jump in and cut you off and say, hey, look, you're saying something wrong. And you just gotta keep practicing that and being like, hey, look, let me finish my thought. Let me get this out. And then we can have a conversation.
I just want to say
patience and perseverance.
I just want to say too, you guys got to be careful when you guys are having FaceTime conversations, because FaceTime conversations are not considered in person, and especially now you may be having a conversation with one of them AIs, so it may not even be the real person. And and the reason why I brought that up too was because I just tested it out tonight. This is not really me. This is an AI.
I knew it.
You guys have been knowing I've been moving like swaying like this back and forth.
I thought about doing it to y'all. I really did think about doing it. But bringing AI up here.
Hey, there's this dude on YouTube right now, and I saw up and down that dude was a real person for a while and found out it was an AI. I said, ain't that some shit? But something just kept telling me the way that his voice was going. I'm like, this don't even sound right. It was goddamn AI.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap, cuz. It's a wrap. Y'all seeing Walmart all them self checkout in the convenience stores now, self checkout. People getting rid of people. We gonna be like in poverty's gonna be like crazy in the future.
I'll tell you, they're gonna wind up taking care of us. They're gonna just send out the government checks, and all of us gonna get a check, and we all gonna be in wheelchairs and 300 pounds overweight.
Universal basic income. They talked about it.
I'm telling you, because the thing is that even if you think about it this way, the moment we stop consuming, they can't make no money. So they have to keep giving us money to continue to allow us to consume. So they're gonna replace all our jobs, and we're gonna be riding around here in wheelchairs like on Wall-E, in wheelchairs, 300 pounds overweight, and they're gonna be feeding us, and we're gonna be watching TV and consuming content and with the VR headsets on. That's what we're gonna be doing. buying shit on VR.
Yeah, better get into the technology business and learn that well.
Yeah. AI
All
is
right, Jay,
taking over.
You can take us out now. Hey, straight up, Wally was a trip, man.
Hey,
Look at
play
those
the
people on
Terminator
Wally.
theme. Hey, JR, play the Terminator 2 theme. Dun-dun-dun.
Can you guys hear me?
Play that Back to the Future music.
And shout out to Mr. Let Go with his glasses, y'all.
All right, y'all, man. We out of here, man. Guys, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. We out of here. All right, family. Y'all be safe out there. Make sure y'all go straight to bed, man. No content creating tonight.
See y'all. Night. Good morning.
Shit, sometimes I be thinking y'all go to sleep. I wake up like, damn, he done got 5 reels out already today. What was that all night? All right, so. Huh.